Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting, is it enough to hold OG in the game?
You see No Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care, he's gonna throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will, as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Topson, Ana, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split, of course, up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Ana up in the skies. As this Rax on the top lane will fall, the melee Rax gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose that top Rax, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Check, Ana is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Seb's going to get a set. Oh, he's in. The call, the MP, the counter, but FY is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Get it up. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pause the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. The doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Topson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of No Tail, FY will fall, Arme looking towards No Tail, No Tail puts the hand and God, but No Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Ana, he's been left behind in Topson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle, Jerax coming in, keeping Ana alive, Ana with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them, Ana trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down, Ana again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive, Jerax back in, the combo, meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky, Monster Shield is gone, he's on top of Jerax, Jerax is gone, Ana as well, can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low. As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Ana back up, that buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova, the cold snap, down onto the attraction, they find him, he's out of mana, he's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded, OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game, Arme buys back immediately, but now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Ana, but Ana also toying with him with that doppel. He set the illusion, they thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill.
Seb,
yeah.
He's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Ana, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB, Ana again with the doppelganger. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Ana will be able to force him away. They've got the head, they've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Topson's got the ghost, he's got Hex
maybe
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
No, back, real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Topson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refreshment.
That
There's no way to get this. There's no way LGD can come.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG T-Rex now.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE is really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. But just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were crushing with their
FY.
Being spotted out.
Got the vision. They're on top of him. Thompson, he's in trouble. The Nullify comes out, but he got the Ghost Walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns up. The blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY just what a shadow blade. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing a huge issue in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc in these teams.
It's too constant. Like that doppel cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have like this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent, but now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too, by replicating him, sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rax left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
They're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play, OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? He's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He was a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counterplay. Jax is there though with the heal, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the Abyssal Blade down. Candace here with the hand of God comes through. Thompson still alive, but Chalice gets the primal split out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese, he's fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No tail. Being chased by Arme. The bash is coming through, but the blade mail was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash of the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY. Gets the kill onto FY. FY bites back straight away. Anna looking towards Somnus again. The doppelganger. Arme on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jax. Jax with the tether. Arme turns into a Gemma. There's the call. Seb, he catches Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. The Hex. They've got Somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. As OG stand with 5 alive on the map, 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This doppel talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the Dispel, but it's so hard to find the real PL amongst all these illusions in all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Anna frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Bride will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Anna, he's poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the BKB with the call. Seb, he's got the destabilizing Chalice. Do they have the damage? They got on top of the Chalice. He's into the snowball. FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable. He's gets Hex. He gets Bloodthorn. Chalice buys back. Straight back into the game. Anna trying to find his attention onto X-Nova. Chalice leading forward. The tornado going to be off the market. Only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow. jumps in, gets the call. The BKB was out in time, the Bananas on top of it. Now it's Seb's got the blade on FY.
Again.
With the snowball again. Thompson, Jerax focusing the rags. Thompson gets the hex up onto X-Nova. Seb healed up by Jerax. And it's still full health at the moment as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base. OG get the bottom melee racks. As still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid rack's falling. They've taken a full second set, 15 painful seconds for LGD.
They're gonna keep going. They want to claim their megas.
Another tier 3 falls. OG onto the final set of racks that LGD have left standing. Azana, he gets kicked back. He's separated from the team, but he has the double gagger.
Ruptured.
He's been ruptured. He needs help, but he needs it now. Jarek in with the tap of the hand of God.
Yeah,
Give it that
reload.
double heal. The relocate as well. Jarek gets him out. As OG will successfully disengage before that Morphling's back in, as they found both racks. Jerax will die for this one, almost certainly, as he looks to tether across, but the nullifies upon him. He has buyback though, and OG just took so much away from PSG LGD, as they only have a lone range rack standing on the top lane.
I can't believe it's coming. This is only 3 racks left in this game. And one of them is a range racks on the side of LGD. Buyback status. I saw X that was buyback. It was only like 600 or 700,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But Jerax also kind of in that same net worth territory, looking at a very cheap buyback. But 2 in the game left. IO and the PL. PL is almost unkillable at this point. Like, even without the Wisp, it's still really difficult. With the Wisp, just don't even try.
We'll see this again.
It's
The save here from Jerax.
the control is just not there, and they don't have the way to kill all these illusions constantly. And of course, look at Jerax coming in, starts that relocate channel, and is able to get it off. No one gets the control on him.
Keeping it cool at the time that it means the most, but he's still able to crack a smile here in Game 4 of the TIA Grand Finals. OG making a stand, now leading 9K advantage in net worth. LD able to join us.
I don't believe they actually have any 4 stabs on the side of LG. That's generally how you deal with a side device. And I think they can get a side device on the core, get a blink call, and that hero is likely dead without buyback at this point. So OG, I would say, definitely favored at this point of the game, especially with PL having buyback. LGD, they have a couple minutes to think about what they want to do before this next rotation.
Yeah, they can't be totally reliant on FY just getting these perfect snowball saves. Or even like, I saw in the last fight too when it was down bottom, he even tried like Walrus kicking the IO away from when he was tethered from somebody else. They need to find some other ways to be able to save, in particular that Brewmaster, who is just time and time again is the most important hero it does seem for LGD.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they do with the BKB call. The snowball is the only thing, but they have Bloodthorns, they have side device for the Tusk, they have a lot of things available. Maybe Aeon Disc perhaps for Brewmaster. I'm not exactly sure what the best way for him to deal with it is. Looks like he is going for an Octarine perhaps for almost permanent.
The sentry's down though. They see Thompson, but Thompson, he's already quick with the play. The Tornado into EMP, Cold Snap as well. They've got the Hex, but there won't be any further jumping. They just poke at Arme.
They're trying to make space.
They got the Mega Creeps.
That's a distraction play right there.
Up against the Mega Creeps. PSG LGD, it's what stands between them and the championship title here in Game 4.
And they got it right before that wave, before that 59-minute mark too, so we already have the Mega Creep wave coming in, that momentum pushing onto LGD's side.
And you look at their lineup, can PSG LGD's heroes deal with the Mega Creeps? It's hard. They don't really have that sort of incredible D-push or AoE sort of hard hitters to deal with it.
That's kind of what they've been lacking in a lot of this game, right? That's what we've been talking about with the illusions with the PL. They've got ways to find them if it's, or ways to kill them if they find the exact one, but as for doing that, it's very tough when they don't have just the Dispel from Chalice.
And he does too much damage to ignore at this point
Yep.
with the Bloodthorn. And on top of that, Roshan is going to respawn in about 1 minute's time. LGD, I think their buybacks are going to cool down around that time, but I just don't think they can withstand this onslaught. They really want to be able to defend this Roshan. It's super obvious when there's Mega Creeps. With Mega Creeps, that's the luxury that you have. You can just wait a couple of seconds. You know, the creeps will be hitting at your T4s if you wait.
As Ana commits forward. has no boots, but a full Eye of Scotty. 3,800 health now on this PL, who hasn't been dying for a very long time. Now he's got easier ways, easier kill opportunity, and much more survivability.
Yeah, he probably has like maybe 7,000, 8,000 HP effective with the butterfly evasion and the heal, the overcharge, and the Hand of God is just way too much. And the lifesteal from Shen too. Another ability.
OG is clearing out the pit. Very, very soon to be spawning. Roshan and PSG LGD are well aware.
Roshan's up. It looks like only OG knows.
Oh, Ame and Anna. Indeed, some illusion action. Ame's going to get caught out by the tornado, though. They've opened up onto him. Ame trying to get on top of Anna. The BKB pop by challenge. He'll get the ult out. No Tail getting gone out straight away by FY with the snowball. No Tail's dead for 100. They'll get the Chen. Anna in the midst of it, trying to lock down onto FY. The rest of his team about to come over to get the tornado. Out onto X over Seb. Looking for the cool control onto Ame. Has he got it? Ame getting stood up by the call Seb, but he's able to wait for him up the high. Thompson blinks in. He gets the hex up at FY with the snowball save. They get the bash out. Soldiers will be able to find the IO, but they're fully low OGD. That Soldiers dead for 2 minutes. They get Thompson. Thompson dead for 2 minutes. Only Anna. Anna, can he do it here? Is it half out? Seb! Kept alive off the back of that fight, as that very much looked like PSG LGD were able to tip OG over the edge, but that plus 100 Berserker score, you could see Seb as well being very careful with how he used it, keeping it to that opportune moment after any potential sort of Manta dodges had been done by Thomas Ame, and he gets the call.
9 doppelgangers using it on just in that area around the Ancients from the PL. Just the constant barrage of illusions giving that distraction to allow Seb to get that call off.
And that's another Roshan for OG.
These fights have to be so hectic for the players. There's like 30 PLs.
There's just both sides. I mean, even the Enchantress is like taking a PL, and then the Morphling turns into PL.
I'm just impressed we haven't had any frame drops. You know?
That's true.
Azana. Down the middle lane.
Just walking down with a DD.
The tier 4s. Anna says he's done with this. He wants to end this game. The buyback will come out from FY. Anna. It's going to be snowballed. Anna. He's in. He's not got any backup on the way. FY will be able to get out with the invis, but this doppelganger just over and over again, meaning that Anna could just stand in. Now he's got the backup of Jerax as he gets Hex. Oh, he didn't expect it. He didn't expect the Hex, but he's still fine. Jerax had the Otis, but X-Nova into the snowball. They'll turn towards Jerax. The Hanagon coming out. Jerax has been nullified. They hit doppelganger once again. X-Nova. He will survive for now. But buybacks were forced out by that aggressive play from Anna. At the same time, Seb did buyback himself on the Axe. But LGD are back up as a full 5-man.
Jesus, this is insane.
I mean, Otto was super safe there. I'm not exactly sure why I said buyback, but I mean, he has heart, he has Wiz behind him, he has Aegis, he has everything. His buyback.
And as you can see there, that is the big difference. There are 4 buybacks available on OG. Only 1 available for LGD.
Oh. All this momentum pushing in. And an arcade rune up top. If they give that to Anna, oh my god. Even more illusions, even more doppels.
Oh.
Let's go.
That is
2.1 second cooldown.
2.1 second cooldown.
Oh man.
Okay. Azana.
This is it.
He's ready to put it to use. Straight into the base he goes, doubling forward, he gets the jump onto X-Nova, the Ghost Scepter keeping X-Nova fine for now. Anna looking to turn his commitment towards Ame. Thompson comes in with a Deafening Blast from the side, the EMP finishes X-Nova off. He's dead for 110, Seb pots the BKB, looks for the cool control onto FY, but FY does get the snowball off in time. Ame looking on top of Jarrett, but Thompson turns, they get the Hex out onto him, he'll get himself back into the ball, the BKB's out in time as Ame cuts down no-tail with a wave 4, finds the kill. Anna looking to get on top of Ame, the BKB's about to wear off. The Mega Crew speeding down upon the edge of OG. Seb in again. The call on top of Ame. Ame dead for 2 minutes. Chalice, BKB pop. He's trying to commit, trying to deal with Anna being silenced by the Blood Right. But the Ancient is falling. He's found himself No Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No Tail as Ame comes in for the kill secure.
I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He's I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
I mean, yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb.
Oh, Ame's got ninjas here.
Got to be careful who shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Ame to have this invis rune. As Ame will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Dire team back.
And as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. Chefboy's going to come in though.
VG Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. VG Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. VG Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Alright, welcome back, we're here on the Beyond, and this is the playoff day. It isn't okay better than Cornstar expired John. Why don't you smile? Welcome back. You seem so happy all of a sudden.
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have a working cam. For some reason, Mike, something up with Discord. I'm hearing you on a different microphone. It's coming out distorted, so it's a bit of a struggle to hear it, but I can hear you fine enough. As long as the viewers are fine, and I'm pretty fine on my end, and it shouldn't be too disturbing. We can sort that out later. It's workable. And you know, we're here on the first day of playoffs. It's gonna be an exciting set of games. Of course, we've already lost what is 4 teams already, so half of the field has been taken off for groups for the playoffs. This is the upper bracket start for all teams. So if you do here, you're gonna have an opportunity in the lower bracket, but most teams would rather not. You know, you would want to stay in the upper bracket, play less games, go straight to the winners. Got more. Of course, historically, in this matchup of VG up against SAG, this has been 100% VG's way. Like, SAG has not taken a single series, not even a single game, from every single match that VG and SAG have played throughout 2020. So it's 100% for VG. SAG, they played a lot better in groups compared to VG, but they've got a lot to prove in this matchup.
The thing is, though, like, SAG it's gaming at all, but right this, in the group stages, they were kind of undefeated. I believe they had 1 loss out of all their series, but in terms of series in general, they just won every single time.
Dire team
It's kind of this weird thing where like you got this advantage in terms of previous games that you played, but
Dire team
alright,
back.
looks like the
Anti-mage.
Alright, I've got to fix the microphone. I've got a confirmation that it's screwed up
Gaming's
with
turn to
pretty much
ban.
everything.
Okay. Alright.
I'm pretty can screwing things up, so now
Alright. Okay, well, we've got, that historic matchup favors VG. SAG had better time in group, so, we've got momentum behind them. It's an interesting draft already from both sides. You're seeing comfort picks come out here. The Disruptor Mars for VG. This is something we've seen as team fall back to. I'd say Mars has been much more consistent for VG. And when you have this kind of opening, it's a lot of team fight coming out for VG. A lot of control in YDOE there. It's tempo based. You have to play pretty darn fast with the Mars. You have to give the Disruptor some room to find EXP. But once you get that running, it's going to be a lot easier to apply aggression, apply control in these engagements. SAG, the clockwork to start with, the AM to pick up. So we've seen SAG pick that AM up a couple of times in the groups. We've actually seen VG do the same with the AM pickup, and both teams have been surprisingly effective with that here. So I don't mind it too much. It is most certainly against the grain. Like, this is not a pick that's been very popular recently, and it's something that it has been working out, but you don't get the space you need the AM to have, it can kind of fall flat. So there are a couple of things there SAG will have to watch out for in timing. I think VG does have a really good response to it. Static Storm in and of itself is one excellent way to keep that AM down, and even the callback with the Disruptor is going to be really great in keeping that AM in control.
I think I've told me get my mate to skip it. So it's working. Okay, no, it's still
No. Okay. Unfortunately, you'll have to listen to me a bit longer, but that's all fine. And, well, the ban prep pretty interesting coming out here. VG, they did opt for Viper ban out. Now, again, not the most common ban. Up against the Mars, of course, having that break is a bit annoying to deal with, so I can see where VG's coming from here. I think they've had to face against that Viper a couple of times themselves, so just taking it out simplifies that process, makes it a lot less likely. Snowball would have lined up with SAG's draft nicely. A Clock Viper is a combo people underestimate just from the power you get. Another Toxin's just really strong still. VG, they picked the Shadow Demon. We've seen this with Mars before. Get the disruption off, you get the spear follow-up control. It's very easy to land. It really dominant in lanes as well, as long as you can keep landing those shadow poisons. And the disruption itself, not just as setup, is a really great saving tool if you needed to kind of bail a hero out or buy some time there. So it's a really strong, flexible pick coming out for VG Gaming. SAG, they've still got room to grow. Clockwork AM, it's not as flexible. I think you have kind of constrained yourself there. What exactly they pick up, you're looking like a pause 5 to come out here for SAG to allow them to maybe respond to this early aggression VG has. Clock by itself is just, it's not an amazing control without something to follow up.
VG Gaming's turn to pick.
They pick the Treant. So that's not too surprising, right? Like, we've seen that a couple of times where the Treant just gets a bit too much sustain, stalls out the game way too hard. I think we have seen this a lot more in Southeast Asia with a pause Treant, but it's still highly effective even in a pause 5 role. So you've got the sustain now from SAG to maybe stall those games out. You've got the power to just kind of keep the lane safe, keep them shut. And I love the response from VG though. Luna with a Shadow Demon. This is a combo we have not seen in a very, very long time. It's a potent combo. We have seen a lot more of Luna come out recently. In China, it's been mainly Pos 1. You really don't have the flexibility here for a support Luna, of course, so that it is going to be Eurus' hero, more than likely, and it works out. Still playing a pretty fast-paced game. You've got Core that can really melt those towers down. You've got great AoE control with all of these towers, just so much damage coming out in these team fights. And you could argue that most of that is magic damage, so the AM is going to be blocking it out for a bit, sure. But early on, when the AM doesn't quite have HP, you know, even if you resist for like 50% magic damage, it's not gonna matter when you have so much of it that you're just gonna melt that AM anyway. So it's a great response there. Allows VG to overwhelm the tree and sustain, not really worrying about the regen the treant's giving to those towers. That living armor is not gonna do too much up against VG's lineup in terms of a push.
VG Gaming's turn to battle.
Storm Spirit.
Oh, the storm pickup by SAG. That's an interesting one. It's really early for a mid pickup. You could have just saved it for the last pick, but I think you're feeling confident. So, of course, hello, Mike. There you are.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Oh, it
remaining.
is. It is.
Dire team ban. Dire team pick. VG Gaming's turn to pick.
Hmm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Sure. So you've got VG's lineup really strong in team fights. You see the Luna Shadow Demon combo coming out, which we don't tend to see too often. We've seen a lot of Luna. We've seen a lot of a Shadow Demon. We've seen them opposing teams in the same game, but never the opportunity to have that combo in. This was the dominant combo. It's been a while since it's in the spotlight, but we've got all the control here. Really quick tempo from VG. They tied up with the Ember Spirit as well for Ori. So again, more team fight coming out, more magic damage, more activity early on. And SHG, yep. It's alright. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's SAG lineup. It goes a bit in the opposite direction. They tried to go for the tree to stall the game out, to prevent the tower pushes coming out, but again, VG's response with Luna is excellent. The Storm Spirit for DD, I think it's actually pretty good here. You don't have the best control from VG. You're looking at perhaps the Disruption Spear or straight up the Static Storm to keep that storm in place. So it can be a bit of a toss-up whether or not you get that lockdown in, but should be relatively easy for our storm to zip in and out. Of course, they do pick it up because they have the AM on there, so they don't have to worry about that counter. Laning matchup of Ember for the storm, it's something we've seen a lot of times, and it can be kind of even, really depending on how far each side plays aggressive and what kind of rotations you're looking at from the supports. So it's basically down to if Felix wants to help that storm, or if he feels like he needs to find those early kills. Otherwise, fairly even overall. I'd say has an easier time pulling their draft off. They come in line quick. Biggest issue for them is perhaps getting level 6 on their supports. Shadow Demon's Purge, the Static Storm going to be really important. And beyond that, you're not looking at strict farm timers. Maybe the Ember Spirit has to find a decent timing on a Eul's or an Urn into the Spirit Vessel just for control, but going to be up and running by the 15 minute at the latest if you have a rough laning start, and I don't really expect VG's lineup to have those issues. It's really down to SCG. trying to buy space for that AM pick, trying to get space for their Storm to find those early levels, to find that early farm, and do even have an early smoke from VG. Grouped up as 5.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea.
I think everything's fixed up and we've got the game on screen now, so whew, that was annoying. But an early smoke is indeed upon us. VG Gaming, they were running this quite a bit yesterday. But they do go for these very early smoke attempts prior to the game even starting and see if they can get a very early pick off. SAG, however, not really falling for that at all. They seem to be very well aware of what's going on right now. They just come back and relax. No need to rush. Just chill out there with God King. He's just on the AM, cutting trees down while he can, and yeah, they're not gonna fall out of that early smoke. Just gonna get some deep wards down, it seems.
Just happened.
Yep, it's still worthwhile, especially in this dire side camp, just to maintain vision over whatever the Storm might be building up to. Watch out for ganks as well, and allows VG to maybe play a bit more aggressive if they do want those earlier rotations down mid. So pretty decent ward placement, as you said, just even bounty trades. Interesting to note, Mike, God King actually doesn't hold out in his level 1. Just straight up goes for the counter spell. So level 1 trades, not going to be great for AM.
That's intriguing as well, of all things, to go for the counter spell. Like, get it if you're up against the Disruptor, which he may assume he was going to have to deal with that Disruptor. Of course, the magic defense that you're going to get is certainly going to help up against the Shadow Poison spec from PYW. That might be a real issue here for God King, but that's intriguing. You don't get to see that very often. But it makes enough sense in a weird way, right? Because as God King's AM, all you need to do right now is farm. You're not really that interested in trying to harass out too much. You've got Red Panda there to do that for you anyway. You may as well just make sure you can secure CS in a set fashion without having to go through too much regen quickly.
Yeah, I do like that the response from PYW was to go for a level 1 disruption. You're not getting that additional value for perhaps blocking that Shadow Poison early on. And, well, in the end, God King's still finding his last, so not the most wasteful use of the level 1, at least he is relatively safer with that.
Mid lane as well. You'll see DD then up against Ori, or Ori's actually falling very low, but he's still trying to go for something here. You'll eat it very fine. DD's now going to be careful, but both sell up. Or we would love to have that side of fist event to cancel that sell, but unfortunately for him, he didn't. It was on cooldown. And these two going at it very early on in this mid matchup, being very aggressive.
I'd love to see that when you do have these spirit products facing off. It's really down to who wants to push their luck, and DD's actually coming out ahead because of these trades. Ori is slightly behind, although now with a wave here, should be able to take control back. So still fairly even, but a lot of regen for both sides just being drawn out.
Ooh. Nice denied on that range creep from DD. It's, wasn't necessarily range creep, but he just committed the vortex and already gets the deny off before he can secure it. Meanwhile, top lane again, they're trying to go after God King. Sora's being thrown out here, but he'll be absolutely fine. The stun duration really isn't near enough at the moment. God King, of course, you have a very easy setup with that disruption into the spear from PYW and Yang. But for now, he's just fine, and every time he does, he takes harass out. Of course, Red Panda is there with the living armor to just keep him very healthy.
Yeah, it's one of the issues with the print lanes as a sport. They're never going to win the harassment war for the most part, and God King being healed back, pops us out as well, just to ensure he's going for the Ring of Health first, as we tend to see. Once you have that running, it's not going to be too hard to sustain yourself anymore as DM.
Yeah. Of course, bot lane, the one we haven't looked at quite yet, Europe's and DY, they're going to be up against OP God and Felix Shelba. It's one of those Zeta 3 clockworks we're seeing again. I'll tell you what, after I'm not planning to deny +3 clock classic you can do. It was very effective as well. I'm not sure if you were here for that series yesterday, John, but it was a +3 clock up against Luna. And it was really fair to Illumination, although, just like this tryout, with EY there on the disruptor, he's not even allowing them to even think about that. But through all the region of OP guard, I don't believe that living armor is going to be enough to make him feel comfortable in this lane. He's going to need more region.
Yeah, no way he really sustains himself there. I think one big key puzzle that's missing from yesterday was the opposing deputy, and that really allowed the clock to set up with the cogs, to set up with the battery assault. You don't have that.
Mid lane. They're going to be there on the storm, living armor coming in to protect him. They won't be able to take him out, but they do provide some really good harass onto that storm. This is kind of another thing we saw yesterday. Again, it was a series you weren't here for, but
Just happened.
Every time there's a storm in the game, it seems as though the opposing team always just brings the supports in constantly prior to that level 6 mark on the storm, and just try to shut him down as much as possible and give Ori the lead.
Yeah,
In fact, it was
really
already
key.
up against Emo Storm. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's really key for that matchup for the Storm to be slowing down, because we've seen Storms that hit a level 6 advantage, they can instantly jump on whoever they're facing up against. We've seen it against the Storm, against the Void Spirit, against any hero. You can't allow that Storm to right to 6. It's a bit dangerous to stand in that lane.
That does. Still, he's been having a great old time, DD, on that Storm. Top the last hits forward and just, well, now you stacks up in the triangle over there for the Dire, so you can always just go back and just escalate your farm even further. There's really not much they can do about it. Of course, he's just going to have to bottle up as well, and well, the bounty room around for him to take, but it's going to feel a lot safer knowing that Vici Gaming is currently headhunting him down, and well, it does give Ori quite a bit of space on the Ember in all fairness. Like, he will be able to catch up from that laning stage that he was struggling in. And even now, he is still one level behind that Bomb Spirit. But it does give him a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be too worried as the Storm. Your farm's just shooting up so much more into the side lane, into jungle. So you're getting a lot more effort there. You're not allowing the supports to leave the side lanes, keeping it fairly even for your course, and even pretty nice. Although Ori
gonna be chasing down Felix, and Felix should be fine. They didn't quite catch him in the kinetic field, and Ori would have loved to go for that kill, considering he did activate that double damage rune. He won't quite be able to secure anything apart from some last hits in that middle lane game. I gotta say, I'm still concerned about this for VP. Like, DD, full HP, full mana, and a full bottle. They help Felix out a bit with the bottle charge, and well, he's now back in mid lane. And mind you, this could be dangerous for DD. He might have to leave this. They do have DY around the area, and there is PYW as well. They'll commit glimpse. Rocket Flare coming in from the side. And you can see Vici Gaming, as soon as that Storm Spirit shows up in that mid lane there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of emphasis on just shutting down that early start. This is coming at the cost of, say, the side lanes. Like, you're not seeing as much pressure in, like, God King in the AM. He's having a free ride towards his boots into the Battle Fury, and that timing is very key for the hero. Look at his farm shoot up.
I mean, look at these stacks PYW set up. If you had a ward right now in that triangle, which I'm kind of shocked as if you didn't consider this. Never mind that bot lane, they do get the first blow on OP gone. You won't let them alone. But if you had a ward right now around this area, and you were the Storm Spirit, you would literally probably win the game off taking those stacks. It's detrimental if they were taken, but what for Ori's sake will not be the case. He'll be able to try and clear them out himself with that flame guard, and that is going to really give him a lot of catch-up gold and levels.
Yeah, it's going to be so much of a bounce back for Ember. Should give VG a nice shot in the arm on top of that first blood we just found, so Ori's going to be pretty happy now as well. I mean, you still have a slight advantage on DD, but it starts to narrow down because of your stack, so Ori going to be fairly pleased from that. Otherwise, both mid laners just satisfied to farm up. This does free up space for the Paulus Force. In this case, Felix is getting a bit more. He's going to hit his level 6 ahead of PYW, who is constantly just stacking up the jungle, clearing out some camps for himself as well, but not quite there in the EXP progression.
That's the thing though, right? Like, the PYW is going to take that mid lane now and catch up there with Felix. And the other positive about stacking like this is all that gold you get that bonus gold you get from sticking up for your teammates, it really does add up. Like, you look at PYW right now, he's almost already the arcane boots up at 8.5 minutes, which isn't quite amazing, but would he have been anywhere near that had he not made those stacks? Probably not. He probably would have been sitting at a few hundred gold and just wouldn't be able to do anything with the Shattered team.
Yeah, it's one of those things with a support playstyle like this. You don't really have any other support that's as efficient in stacking camp, so it's starting to pay off for PYW. You do see, I don't think SAG's it's too upset about this stuff. Again, they're still getting space for their AM, they're getting for their Storm. There's really not too much pressure coming out. You could argue the same for PG. You know, giving Eurus a lot more free flow than you'd expect Luna to have against a Clock. And it basically abandoned the top lane now. Like, you just have DD in the jungle, so there's a lot of space here that's just giving out. They're trying to find farm in the jungle to compensate.
Well, I don't think God King has much choice left on this AM. Like, he's been doing great. It just managed to wait for people to speed things up. Hey, people would laugh at that. I'm sure people are laughing right now saying that. That's called efficiency. Because he's never going to use that Mana Void up until maybe the 20-minute mark. Bot lane Felix does go down. It was an Arena of Blood committed by Air. There's literally no problem with that Mana Void done. It is literally just efficiency.
Yeah, there's really no one else to blow up anyway. I guess the Ember is someone you could burst out, but even then it's not quite amazing. So speeding up your farm like this is perfectly fine for God King, and right now, BG, they're not quite ready for bigger fights. This is the point where they need to start giving DY some EXP, hit that level 6 mark on the Disruptor. They want to play more aggressive. And DY is inching close, not quite there. Does bite Buck. That Static Storm coming.
That should be and it might be perfect timing as well, as it looks like OP God's ready to try and go for some kills himself. He's level 6 on the clock, and well, actually, that's somewhat of a concern. Like, this Disruptor is going to be around the same level as this Clockwork, about 1 level behind, but we're talking about a position 5 Disruptor against no, he's going to be the same level now. Like, this Disruptor is literally keeping up with the position 3 Clock. That is not what you want if you're SAG, because if you just play the core Clockwork, you do really only run the core Clock for the sake of getting those levels up earlier on.
Yeah, it's not the best science for SAG. On top of that, you've got the top lane being shoved in, the Truth not being able to stop that, so the push is still flying out from VG despite playing these trees.
Okay, but I'm not sure what your plan is here, sir. You speed right to the tower, and now Static Storm comes in. He's trying to get range, stuff from Felix, pushing back the on. Now PYW's coming in. He got hooks to Felix, he blocks it. And now the glimpse back. This is just, that was a terrific panic moment from OP. He's still alive somehow though. He does follow go down. Now DD comes in, does get DY to trade in the gold to PYW. However, PY gets disruption off. Can he survive? Not quite, but now the Eclipse comes in. Mirrors clean up, and Felix trying to run away, but they're going to chase him down. Speed, not that quick from Yang, actually pushing him out of range, but it won't matter. Already done get him, and we'll take him out. And I love that little remnant there with the Rubik, but yeah, look, I don't know what the game plan was for SAG. I don't know why OP would run up the team being Mars like that down the bottom lane, but it wasn't good news.
No, not that easy. You can see OP after the fact. He TP's down, get sent back home, so he's gonna have to walk his way back down. It's a Disruptor. You've got to be aware of that glimpse, and it does cost him a bit of time.
You usually make the excuse that, you know, that first glimpse of the game, you can't just forget about it, but he just got glimpse back about 30 seconds ago. You know, it's... I'm not sure what's going on over here, but he's got to calm down a bit, I think. There seems to be a bit of panic going on with this clock right now, maybe just understanding how behind he is. Like, he's sitting at 3.6k net worth, but it's really just the XP. He's just not keeping up.
At about the same level as PW is on the Shadow Demon. I mean, this Shadow Demon has the Aether Lens up. That's a massive spot for PYW. Longer range disruption, longer range purge, just so much more to be done. And you see Leech playing really aggressive here with the smoke.
Top pick, Red Panther, Arena, gonna be there. He's definitely dead on the tree. fact that he does have that eighth lens up on that Shadow Demon is kind of ridiculous. Like, we're talking 12 minutes into the game that he had that up, and now he's just going straight for a 4-star. And considering how much he's farmed, it doesn't seem like it's going to take him very long.
No, it's one of the beauty. You pointed it out. It's just these stacks. You've got the Luna who can clear it out, the Ember who can clear them out. They're always being taken, and you're getting so much gold, so much more than a support usually does. It's ridiculous how much PYW is getting done.
And that's the thing, right? If you main support in your pubs, and you kind of ask yourself, how do the pros get gold like this so quick? Just stack for your team. Not only do you help your cores out, but you also help yourself out. You get bonus gold, and people think it's nothing, right? People think it's a tiny amount of gold you're getting. But really, every couple hundred gold really starts to add up in that progression. Now DY is going to spawn out God, King and Red Panda. He places a nice deep observer ward down. Nature's Grasp is going to be out from Red Panda, and they'll just kind of disengage. However, they're starting another side. Look, they do catch out the clock again. An OP God. It's not it. Now the Vision gets there on the Rubik, the Western map with the Static Storm, and they'll just take down Felix. And SAG, it doesn't look like a team that hasn't been defeated yet.
No, this VG showing us why they've beat SAG every single time they faced off. It just looks like they have their number, chasing for more Red Panda.
Just get the chains on with the Spirit Vessel. He commits overgrowth, but you have another Remnant. He's dead.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of panic going on with SAG. Like, you can, that I can tell you 100% right now. They
for sure.
I think that their game plan of holding off, letting the clock do his job and creating all kinds of chaos and just defending T1 towers, it just hasn't worked out, right? And now with the T1 top and T1 mid going down, like, sure, you've got the Battle Fury on God King. Where do you farm now? They're making the case to him right now, and he doesn't see them. He doesn't look, but they're coming. The chains are there. The Spirit is gone. He's dead.
Oh,
he farmed in the tree line, so he couldn't. He fogged himself out.
yeah. It's getting really tricky now for SAG. You want to maintain a net worth lead with a hero like the AM. You're not going to be able to find that. You're at the situation now, Mike. You've seen a couple of teams end up here where your mid laner in the Storm needs farm. Your safe laner is meant to just farm. There's no space for both heroes to build up more in PD.
Well, he's going to go on Eurus. Eclipse will be committed, so he does get that used up. And now Felix, I'm not sure why you went in, Sooner. He's going to try to set up his OP God. Will come in. A great cost out. Eurus will die. Now D will raid onto Ori as well. That's what they're looking for. You know, you've still got the Storm. And you can't underestimate how powerful DD can be right now. He's had a good game, top of the net work board in that Storm Spirit. And SAG looks like it's their time to try and get aggressive here on the DD game. See if they can get that done.
Yeah, the big thing for SAG right now is to just play around DD. He's got an early Kaya to boost his damage. He's going straight for the BKB, not going for that Bloodstone, and that's the way to play it. He needs to be up in front. He needs to make big moves up against VG, buy that space for God King. If he can keep that pressure with the Storm, there should be enough space for God to just build up by himself.
That they will be. Because VG Gaming now may just kind of sit back and fight. Okay, we're being aggressive, we're winning these team fights, but we may not be ahead of net worth. The truth is they're not. Right? You've still, as much as you've taken over the map a little, you've still got to be wary of the fact that DD can just turn everything. They're gonna try and keep eyes on him and just see if they can pick him off. If the Storm is dead, of course, the map is completely open for VG Gaming, but as long as DD is available, you've got to be very wary.
Yeah, it's really hard to fight into the hook and the zip. The Storm, just a lot of long-range initiation as being done. So a lot more caution coming out from VG now. They're grouped up together. They're farming on their side of the map. There is a smoke though. Yang and DY want to get something done along with Ori.
See if they can make it work again. This could be dangerous. They have vision of DD at the bot lane, so they're kind of backing on that right now. They know he's not around, and OP got it. He's spot out Ori, but he gets freed up. Cogs is there. Spear gonna fly through on the big line, and they'll just leave the clock high. See? Oh, hook shot from OP God. He's trying to get out. He's can't get there. Meanwhile, the P1W controlling up this AM. He will be able to TP out, however. Almost had the opportunity to get a big network kill on the anti-mage, but it's not going to be there. You'd still call that a success tank, though. Yeah, not clockwork. It's too bad.
Yeah, it's not the worst trade in the world. I think VG's still finding room for Eurus to farm while his movement coming out. So still getting gold on your main core. You would be very happy to find the AM though. It's been a while since we've seen any sort of movements on God King. He only died once. Right? It's only in that jungle where he fogged himself out, but beyond that, it's been a steady rise for God King, and it's a cause of concern for VG. That network lead they had is down to left decay. So SAG's done a pretty darn good job, at least in the latter half here of game, to really keep VG's push in check. They're just trying to slow down on those objectives. There's still a lot of room here to farm.
Got in, mid lane, they're going to go from that disruptor. Tripsy is there from Eurus from the high ground. DY, he does go down. Can they at least get the trade here? So he has the bullets to buy himself, so it's not really dying to those magic damage. They hit Felix and OP guard, he will die. And well, G Gaming, they're going to take this as an opening to try and go up the road shot. And it seems to go back to the warding as well, John. They only really have one ward in that mid lane. However, DD, he's going to jump in. He'll go straight after P1W. P1, he's trying to get that disruption off. Has to commit it on himself. Now the chains are hurry. He's going to jump in. DD, you can't down this one, surely. He has the soul rip, but can he survive? Not quite. Or he will take him out, and it's back to the Roshan kid. And again, it's just, is it a mirror vision here, John? Because it seems to be lacking.
Oh yeah, vision's definitely a big part of it. SAG, beyond that, they've been consistently trying to match that aggression, and it's paid off a couple of times. This time around, and they do sacrifice their storm for really current. They do stop the Roche. The rocket fires coming out, so OP God is at least keeping eyes on that. That just means VG is going to try to focus on that top tier 2 instead.
Well, VG team still in control here of this game number 1. They do have just the 1k net worth lead. It's not too big of a deal. I'd say you've got to try and control God King though. They've kind of just left him alone. They are going mid, and they'll find the Rubik again. So Felix is going to die for, well, it's been the 5th time now, but at this point they ain't mind so much because God King is just farming so darn well. He's got this Yasha up now as well on the AM, which is definitely a very unique build to have, but with all this status resist kind of this meta where you're just building status resist items constantly, I guess it's not all bad news.
Yeah, it's a really decent pickup for him a bit more presence in these fights. But look, God King is opting for the halberd to Manta. He's just go for the disassembly kind of play here and just wants the stabs for efficiency in that downtime, which is really enough. I think the halberd is going to give him a bit more durability with evasion. We still have to worry about the magic damage from Eurus, but with the stat hitting the AM now, it's harder to burst him down with magic damage. So God King has a lot more leeway. You do see the BKBs flying out onto VG. Eurus, Fish Gump hit BKB going into the Manta next. And you're also seeing Yang save up for his own BKB. So these two cores are not going to be worried about that storm.
Let's not skip over the fact that God King's item build is cool, like the way he's doing it. You pointed out from Manta Halberd coming out on that AM, but I just love the fact that he actually built into the SMI first before going to that ultimate orbit to the Manta or even the Halberd. It's such a nice way to do this, right? Because now you can actually fight with your team if it's necessary. Not to mention the SMI is naturally going to make you farm faster.
Yeah, it's
kind of genius.
It is. It's something we see sometimes being a possibility on like Troll. It never comes to fruition. In this case, you actually do have the Halberd. So there is an opportunity there to tank yourself up. Still, VG, they smoke bomb.
They have, but Red Panda is going to break. You do have to go for a fall, though. No, the Ancients, they're going after OP God. Everyone's against this man. He does hook shot up. Nice hook to the critic wing.
Oh no. The sentry was just outside Felix.
Lol.
He just walks out.
Oh man, that's that's a lull moment right there. Or he's gonna try and go after Red Panda, won't be able to get that. So instead, back mid lane, you'll go after the tier 2 tower, and they do find it. Still in control here, BG, and that tier 2 tower going down may just try and return back into that Roshan pit. I don't believe it's still Roshan, but they can definitely try.
Yeah, it's something they should try to go for. There's not many safe objectives left in the map, unless they do want to take that from top. You do see SAG smoke up. They want to play around with a fresh BKB on GD. Would be a very nice reveal if they get a good jump here.
It would be. SAG though, still looking through that Radiant side jungle, won't be able to find anyone.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's time to start forcing in that bottom tier 2. While it's happening, however, seeing that AM VG Gaming, they'll start forcing the Roshan. However, Rocket will scout this out. They're going to continue though. Not going to back off this time, but they're going to try and finish it up, I guess. But DD's just around the corner now with that KB up. Still trying. You've got Eurus with double damage, so it's trying to do this ASAP. Masker Man as well. Roshan is very low right now. They've got to pick the jump soon. Is there any more rocket flares coming in? Not quite yet, but he comes as DD comes in. Aegis on the deck. He doesn't get it. He snatches away and immediately TP's it. Oh, DD, how dare you?
Oh man, just too quick for VG. That BKB, I mean, sure, you waste the 10-second charge. You got the Aegis. That's just massive for SAG. Gives him a lot more room to play. With a Storm, VG gonna have to be careful now when he forces a fight out onto DD. He needs to be able to follow up on that second life.
This is getting real hard now for VG. Like, they're holding that net worth lead, but 2K is nothing at 25 minutes in. You've got to consider as well, God King has not been involved at all yet in any engagement. He has literally just been farming, and the one time he died, that was it. That's the only engagement he's had so far. Maybe now we see him. He Ori try and bring that mana ASAP. Spear does not connect on the AM. Ori, he wants to get out of there. The arena would be enough, and now that Static Storm is going to come back in for chains. But they're still probably going to lose Yang here, but he BKB's up, trying to find his way to victory. But can he? He comes back no Peacock. Now the grass pouring out. McCabe, P, he will go down. And Yang, he just proved to be way too tanky on that Mars. He couldn't get through that HP. They weren't even close. They still end up losing that pulse 3 clockwork. VG Gaming, well, they'll just get back to farming.
Yeah, I don't think SAG is in any bad spot though. Like, sure, you're not quite there yet with God King, but he has that Manda, he's got the Heaven's Halberd, that efficiency, item split up finally being seen, not something you see too often. Going straight for the Basher into Abyssal. So once you have that on the AM, it becomes extremely difficult to try to match up against God King, and that's when he really gets the second shot in life there.
VG Gaming, love the fact the PYW is going to be going for that Aghanim Intercept on that Shadow Demon. That's what things become very, very hard for the side of SAG, assuming PYW doesn't die straight away. It can be a bit of a hard task not to die, considering there is an AM Storm in the game. Obviously, they're going to go straight after the Shadow Demon or Disrupt the first in these team fights. But if you can get those 3 charges of Purge out, especially once you have that talent, level, well, it's level 25 that it gets ridiculous, but even then, it kind of is a little bit broken, to say the least. But we'll see how PYW does with it. I think overall, having 3 charges of Purge is always good, regardless of the damage output.
Yeah, it gives him a lot more control on the AM, on the Storm, if ever it comes down to it, and gives him pretty good spikes there. You're also seeing decent progression for Ori into his Ags as well. You're going to have the added mobility on our Ember Spirit, a bit more damage and more flexibility for that hero coming out once you have that up and running. So it's not too long until we see a second spike hold up.
Broken, Ori broken. There's going to be a vortex there, but can they hold him yet? There's a hook shot from up P. They have overgrowth, they won't let him get out of there. Now DY drops Static Storm, but the disruption, PYW. He can't scoop up a little bit. DD goes to BKB now. God King, he's to speed up up to a tree in that arena with the victory will blink out. Now Ribbon's forward again, already he's back up and ready to go. Okro comes out. Now OP got, he'll be the real hero, maybe not. Ori, he's the one to go down. Now Yang also being abused by that AM, but it's not going to be enough. He's just so tanky. Yang just getting out. SAG can actually kill anyone off. DD, I know you got the 8, sir. This risky. Living up. He survived the T1 power hits.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And so they go after the T1 tower again.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Go get it.
That was really disjointed from VG. Their initiation just not ending up. It was that static storm disruption that just ruined it. If they managed to just hatch the storm out, that would have been enough. But not quite the way you want that to go, and VG does get nicely punished. Seeing the overextensions from Ori not paying off, he's a bit too far forward. He doesn't have defensive beyond the Yules, nothing like a BKB. He can't actually stand it and fight. It's really just down to yours and Yang to be the ones to play with their BKBs, but Ori is the one jumping way too far.
Blame God, he just defeated him, disrupt, come out, but can they hold it down? Static Storm, no, they used it, but oh crap, it's coming in, they made it to the counter spell, now the spear into the arena, but there's a disruption up, Felix, he'll save the day on the AM, get him out of there, he'll blink out, now PYW is going to be in trouble, DD's trying to go after him and does get the kill, but can he get himself out? The hook shot onto Ori, he's trying to run it out, now it comes back from the storm, they really want DD dead, and they are going to get him, he does not have an Aegis. It did expire. And with that, it will go after a Panda. He should just be dead here on the tree. It continues. D1 Spike will die. The Lunar illusions out from Felix, and now they get the Emerald up. Already running out of mana, but he still has enough to get out of there. And now OP God needs to get out. McCain will help him out a little bit. That's coming out of the Brain Protector to give him that big armor. Now God King back onto Ori. He'll swoop around now, going after Eurus. In fact, he wants Yang. No, never mind it. It's Eurus he's going after. He's trying to make a run for it, but they are on the chase. Meanwhile, Yang, BKBT being out, but he has left his pos one behind. And SAG, it was a very, very messy kind of engagement from the side of VG Gaming, but they do make their way out of it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, it's a really good fight for SAG. Even they lose DD with no Aegis, perfectly fine, because they find all the spell uses for VG, they find all the BKB uses they want. VG, and they're not finding great success with these longer charges. As soon as it drops at 5-second charge, well, you're just not going to have enough time to get control. And it does feel like they've missed that window. They didn't punish God King while he was weak. They gave a bit too much in terms of kills towards that storm. So DD and God King are in a position where they're just way too big to handle. They still have certain items flying out here for VG, like say the Desolator up for Yang, just to boost the damage out. Biggest issue on hand really is that Ori is just so easy to control. Like he comes in, he doesn't have a BKB, not like DD. And as soon as he commits, he's just on the edge of dying, forcing his team to respond when they really want to be setting up instead. It just kind of falls apart. So after SAGs, you really have to see Ori go into that, probably stripped up the BKB, just give himself that immunity.
He's gonna need it. You've got the Yules up, but that's it. Perhaps he feels confident enough once he's got the Aghanim Scepter up that he'd be able to escape whenever he needs to, but I wouldn't quite bank on that. See what happens. SAG, they do take the net worth for the first time during this game, apart from, the first few minutes. So, PG now to be a little bit careful. The wait out Eurus, who is just farming up his butterfly. So those rocket players will be consistently coming out from OP Gun to keep vision on where the side of VG Gaming are farming. As long as you can keep them trapped in that area, you are happy if you're an SAG. There is really not much farm to be had there. We've also got the Aghanim Scepter now up on Ori, so they may go for a smoke attempt very soon with that Ags and Butterfly up. Mind you, the Eurus will kind of reveal it now up at the top lane, but I guess the Butterfly is not too big of an item that you have to make a surprise reveal of it. And, we'll looks like SAG want to at least wait for God King to have that full Satanic up, which he does now. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a couple of smokes being popped very, very soon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a nice playing field for both sides. Just really big item pickups. Even that blink on the tree just means Red Panda is gonna be in the middle, getting off the overgrowth control he needs. He's had some pretty solid overgrowth. Now it's gonna be easier for him to consistently land those spells.
There's that smoke coming. VG Gaming, they're gonna try and go for it now. Or kind of pushing out the bot lane, so SAG may not be expecting this. He's got the Ags, he can make it to his team very quick, but they've smoked up as well, SAG. They're going down towards that bot lane. You have a double damage rune on DD himself, and that is a very, very scary thing for the side of VG. I don't believe they actually had vision over that bot rune spot at the time, so they shouldn't have really seen that. They set them out on that triangle again. SAG trying to try and make that high ground jump yet. But both smokes will effectively just be cancelled off. Do just expire. You want to just have the advantage when you do go up to these fights. I definitely see VG Gaming are the ones that are a bit more afraid here, especially if they have seen that double damage rune on DD.
Oh yeah, they're guys playing on the back foot. They know they've given this a bit too much space. Roche is up. This might be the objective where both sides really fight over it if they become aware.
They kind of have. I don't think either side can really let it go. We're 35 minutes into the game. I'd say more so for VG Gaming though. They really can't allow that to go down. Like, you give that Aegis over the Storm again, you're gonna have to kill him twice. It's just way too difficult. They've got the eggs up now on P1W as well. So plenty of damage control coming out. SAG just waiting. They might hook shot in soon. There's going to be disruption on Eurus to get those illusions and just push up that mid wave. But God King is just to block them off and take them out before they can even do anything. And I guess if you're VG Gaming, that's one of the positives here for them, is they can always just disrupt up Eurus, get those illusions out, and keep safely taking these lanes out and trying to make themselves a bit of space. That may not be quite as effective though in the RuHub pit, and it certainly won't be very effective if Felix does get the disruption again. As we saw in one of the last team fights, it's just disrupting up Eurus and taking those illusions for himself, and he ended up killing PYW with those illusions.
Yeah, it's one of the best things about that Rubik in this game. Just so much value, because you got between yourself, and you're at that point where you've got the Abyssal and God King. So the AM just has so much mobility now.
They're going up to the high ground of Dire. Outpost will be taken. God King mid-right. They may hook shot, they do. They get caught, so not quite yet, but DD does it. There's the infinite coming out, but Shen can't do anything. They're like very low on the side of VG and Eurus. He thinks the time. Now Yang just trapped up in his own arena, but they ignore him. They go after Ori, who does manage to run it away, but no, God King, he's not done yet, but he doesn't actually get any hits on. Meanwhile, Yang still trying to fight, but eventually will just die. And that's a 3-for-0 trade. And with that, is straight into the Roche pit.
Alright, there's no stopping this from VG. It's just Super Corsair that with their one support that can help really interrupt this is gone. Can be a nice pickup for SAG. They widen the lead to 8k for themselves. They're really bouncing back in here off the back of off the back of God King. These heroes now at the point where it's simply too big. VG, they don't have as much farm on Eurus, and they most certainly don't have as much farm on Ori again. These heroes have given way to the Luna to try and out farm, and it's just not paying off. So it's down to SAG now, trying to stay aggressive. They have the control, they've got the tools, they can just keep shoving in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gotta be very careful here. They don't have any vision of SAG apart from that mid lane being pushed in. God King easily going to take that T2 tower, no issues. Meanwhile, we've got a BTs coming up with Felix now, so I suppose just in case he needs to make his way back to the base and defend, you've always got that available. Well, to make matters worse for VG Gaming, there's a double damage rune on top now. It's almost guaranteed that SAG should be able to get that rune. And if DD spots that out, oh, he gets a Thunder Relic as well. Of course he does.
Oh man.
He's not going to switch it out yet. He wants the Enchanted Quiver for that bonus damage, but that Timeless Relic on a Storm, disgusting.
You know what's more disgusting? Have that on a Rubik with Stolen Disruption. I think that's even worse. That's really good for SAG, and tricky now, right? You're depending on that disruption for control and for the illusion spam, but there's no easy way for the Shadow Demon to just guarantee that he toggles it off to be slow. So it's always going to be easy for Felix to get that spell, and it's just really difficult for VG to find those openings. Still, they are smoked up.
What can they do with it though? They'll take their outpost back. It's probably the best they can ask for, but they're tier 2 top tower now. The final out tower is being pushed in here from SCG. Look at God King, he's just 10k ahead of that Luna. Just casually 10k. Taking up for Lincoln Spear now, just getting that added defensive utility on that AM, and you can't quite blame him. He'd love it right now because he could be in a bit of trouble if he's not too careful, but Yang will TP up. DY is clenching his butt cheeks right now, but he'll be fine as well. By the way, DD will get the double damage rune and gets a regen in the bot lane. We've seen this one before, haven't we? DD plus regen. So you pop the DD, you get the regen, you pop that, and you zip across the map. Someone's dying, that's for sure. He pops the DD. Here we go. It begins, John.
It's completely fair what's been happening here for SAG. Just absolutely bounced. Not chance-based at all for these guys. And there you go.
Than there was in the side shot, and I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
At least it's not that kind of RNG.
Yeah, that side drop is brutal, and a bit of an advancement from VG. Didn't really catch out Yang. VG much more defensive here, sticking to their high ground. They don't really have space anymore to grow big. They do have good hold. Again, the team fight is pretty spectacular. It's just been having issues with these BKB. It's down to 6 seconds. So, you know, you're not going to be worried about it as much, but 5 seconds are long enough to sit through the static storm, to have the storm zip out anyway, so it's still very tricky for VG to find openings in this game.
You know how they could come back, John? You were spying a Divine Rapier, which he does queued up. Now with the Shadow Demon, Disruption Illusions as well, like an absolute truck.
Yeah, that is true.
It'd be scary too.
You know, I think it's scarier to actually have the Divine, because PYW will always get Disruption stolen anywhere. So you're dealing with your own Divine Illusions attacking you in that case, and I think that's scary.
It is just stepping in, hook shot. Peacock doesn't land on anybody, but they are going after that Disruptor. Still, the Limit Cape will save, and that is the aim is gone. God King, however, who are you focusing on, sir? Does get PYW. DD now zipping past the team. Hitting wide. We'll get that kill, and well, they'll force out the buyback. And that'll be enough. Ori, gonna remnant fall. Chains are out, but you've got no follow-up, surely. They glimpse him back, kinetic field out on OP God, but now God King is back in. He's DD, straight to the backline. He wants the dieback on that Disruptor. He won't quite get it, however. Now falling low now, yeah, he needs to escape this. Static Storm comes down as well. Onto that AM, but Eurus is in so much trouble right now on that Luna. He can't get out there, he will die. Now as well, Yang going down. A buyback on Yang. Eurus will also buy it back. Now, Red Pan gonna go down. There's a 1v4 situation, John. It's just God King versus the world. He'll blink out of there. He's out. They got all the buybacks they asked for. And if you're Eurus right now, I think you're going to be really trying to rush that Divine Rapier ASAP.
Oh yeah, there's just no two ways about it. They don't melt any of these heroes fast enough. And SAG, right in their lead to 21k, you've even got the Ags up and running on OP God. You've got the Blink on Felix. Everything you could ask for on every hero is just up and running, and it's going to be so hard to play against that. All the control coming out here, all the opportunities these heroes can find. VG's got to be a lot more careful. They need to be on point with her initiation, with her spell combinations. We didn't even see Eurus manage to pop that Eclipse, and 43 minutes in, the Eclipse is not much damaging. You have to still rely on it, but you're really just not going to be melting any hero unless they're isolated at this point in the game.
Eurus is just continually just trying to farm up that Divine. He needs it desperately. Meanwhile, I think SAG is just going to wait out the next Roshan attempt. You've still got a while for that, but they can definitely just chill out and wait. AM with almost 40k net worth. I don't think they're worried at all about dragging this game out a little bit. He's running around with no boots now. We're at that point of the game. Going to put a butterfly up next, and that might actually replace out either the Halberd or the Battle Fury, but there is the Rapier. We are within Rapier gaming now, John. Things have got a very spicy. God King. Ooh, almost finds PYW there, being up, but doesn't quite get there in time. However, I don't believe they're aware that there is a Rapier up.
Yeah, that's going to be a really big reveal for VG. Just have to be careful about sending Vision's way.
Zips in, he on PYW, he's just going to burst down the shadow. And PYW, he's more stuffed out, but no, he won't survive. D-Wise also time. He got the static storm off the time, but it's not enough. Or maybe it is. God King, he's falling very low, he's trying to fight back, and he does blink out just in the nick of time. Does he die? No, he still survives. He's really playing with fire. Meanwhile, Eurus, he's low, but he ends up back as well. OP God, he was so close. Here it is, well, fighting Felix, they hold a 2-2 trade, both two supports on the BG, one support and a core and SAG. OP God, I cannot believe he didn't die there.
Oh yeah.
Rather, God King, man, I can't believe the AM survived.
Just on the edge. I mean, it's equally surprising Eurus lived. That was a sliver of HP. He lost the Divine, and the Storm picked it up. That was it. So, VG, counting their lucky stars there, you gotta finish Satanic. Yeah, you need a lifesteal, buddy. Without it, well, you're just gonna melt. I get panic when I actually see him go in now, because he's squishy. It's not like the AM. God King can just hold his own. It's not very durable. And again, we saw that in play a while ago with a Rubik. The disruption illusion, we're doing a lot. Sure, Eurus can melt them a lot faster now, but man, they hit pretty hard. So VG, they're just clinging on to dear life here. SAG, they trip up a bit. They've still got a lot to play with. They've still got a pretty massive lead here. Need to be a bit more cautious in pushing in, but if they really just hunt down Eurus, or
he's going to be in trouble. No, he'll just run. Overgrowth was all fair from Red Panda, but you can't really time it very easily up against the Ember. The animation of the spell is kind of awkward. Now, still just waiting out for Roshan, which is going to be open in 5 seconds from now. And Red Panda, does he scout it out? No, he walks back out of the pit just a bit too early. It is there now.
Oh,
there it is. Rocket Flare will give vision. Meanwhile, though, you've got level 30 on God King, so he's got every single talent up.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is not pretty. The AM just gets really insane when it's got those blink talents up. So it's gonna be hard to deal with. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to deal. Just goes into the pit trying to bait.
Why not scan it out? Itchy game. But how do you approach this? They'll throw a remnant in. Bloodthorn's gonna be out from DD to really just amplify that Roshan timing. Meanwhile, disruption illusions are coming as well to try and give vision. I doubt this scares off. It does. So Roshan about half HP now. It does also have the refresher shard, mind you, on it. I think it's a bigger deal for Itchy Game to try and go for that. They're gonna try again, SAG. Jumping in. Itchy Gaming kind of backed off for a little bit, but now they realize they're gonna come back into this and try to deal with the Roshan fight. Over both the up in 8 seconds, so you won't really have it for the team fight unless Roshan is taking longer than I expected. Although, you jump in, God King goes straight onto that disruptor. Static Storm was there, but it's not quite enough. Meanwhile, TD's on PYW, but he's used Spinator. It's not going to be enough either. Now it is up to Eurus. God King jumping on, getting the bash, getting another bash, another disarm. Yeah, he's going to find detractors. Eurus does go back, but King is still just walking away. Ori now going to go around onto the clockwork, and it looks like OP God might just be dead here. So trying to get a cogs out, but it will be no good. And God King, you can't let this Ace go to the way of Ichi Gaming, that's for sure. They've got to stick around here. Ichi Gaming probably won't risk it either. But no, they have to. God King is forcing it. Overgrowth, not up again. He's going to jump locked off there. Gone. Eurus and he's on a little bit. Yang falling even lower. He dies first. Eurus is in trouble. He's going to the red here. That might be it. There's the end being given to the... Well, they killed the Storm apparently. That last line of missed, but I guess everything goes to God King now. He's really got no space left in his bag. So hold the H, but throw to the Manta and they'll call the GG. They understand that was it. Without a Divine, without an Aegis, can't win this game. What a game to start us off with the day, John. SAG hitting 1-0 so far in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, that is literally SAG's first actual win against VG. First act.
He's found himself No-Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No-Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, there's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No-Tail as Zame comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. I just need to get my ulti off. And he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for like last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
I mean, yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, but Ana wasn't able to do damage because of his rupture. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb.
Ana's going into this here.
Gotta be careful who shows up top. Indeed, Jerax. He's going out on his own. He doesn't expect Zame to have this invis route. And Zame will show himself. Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, will find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb like miserable.
He's toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed, FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees. He's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he has level up.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Creeks. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage with these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim. So. As Thompson, see, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink Calls-outs, as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I've Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the ages to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character's going to get FY, there with the snowball save, he's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out, Seb goes for the TP, they've got the stun to cancel though. Seb held back for now, Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson, he's running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the sense on a previous move. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the man to back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. I mean, X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wards that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back it. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of racks. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the 3 of them. Knocks the back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the concept. The PL army is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
You can look up close to Brew as a 25.
So close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball. He turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail. FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I get an edge up with this team fight. The LGD are been gold, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They're back away.
They can't count. They fought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Rosh right now so we can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right?
Yep.
It was up to 15k 8k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon disc on Jared, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X-Blade Mail call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
So it's all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the smoke, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled.
He's in the trees, they're on the high ground, they've got the vision with the Shiva's covered, Anna's on his way over, they've got the snowball down, there's the Counterblade Seb, jumps in, he's able to find the call onto Challenge, but Challenge already got the BKB out, the Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb pots the BKB, he'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down, no buyback on the Axe, and Jarex as well, surrounded by PSG LGD, the Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom room, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding onto that buyback on Jarex. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting, is it enough to hold OG in the game?
You see No Tails already running to just, he doesn't care, he's gonna throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will, as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jarex. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jarex is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split, of course, up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Check. Anna is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Head's going to get a set. He's in. The call, the EMP, the cannon, but FY's in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. But he's got it up. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis Somnus looking to get involved. Pots the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's
Vici Gaming's turn to
the
ban.
axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Vici Gaming's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Vici Gaming's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. VG Gaming's turn to ban.
Alright. Game number 2 between Sparking Arrow Gaming and VG Gaming. It is Peter side. Welcome back. I'm sure you may have seen we tried to release the Twitch chat. We tried to bring them back up, but unfortunately, I'm not sure what the backend's doing, but there's a bot that's not allowing us to take it out of remote only mode. So I'm sorry. Tried, we really did. I don't like emote mode either. It's kind of meh.
Yeah, it's not fun. You know, it's but the robot overlords have taken over, Mike. So yeah, you gotta spread her. You can't do much about it.
Accept it, John. Accept it. Still, after the start of John last game, VG Gaming had a bit of a struggle. They were kind of running a pretty close match, I'd say, right? It wasn't that much of a dominant
5
victory.
seconds remaining.
You could kind of go back to God King. Like, the fact he left at AM for so long, they killed him once in the very early stages of the game, which was great. But after that, you just never saw any kind of input onto that AM. And he just kind of took over. So, what do you think they did differently?
I think BG's got to be very on point with the playstyle that like they went for a really strong push lineup with the Luna Shadow Demon. They couldn't quite get it on. A lot of the fights were broken up, really by Felix. I think a lot of that early momentum from SBG was down to Felix and DD, just making all the big plays, jumping in on a right hero on the storm, or getting the disruption stolen every single time, and that was enough to turn it towards SG's way every time. So they've got to be wary about giving opportunities like that. It looks like both sides are going for a very different draft. You do see SAG, they open up with the Pangolin and the Bane, so they're saving themselves from having to deal with the Pango counter. They've got a decent sort of duo here. You have flexibility with a core Pango or support Pango if you need, and it's fairly straightforward opening. Neither hero does too much against the Phoenix. It's going to be hard for the Phoenix to dive away with a Bane around, but beyond that, the egg should be fairly effective here from VG, depending on what SCG does pick up next for the right click. So it's still fairly open for both sides, but I do like VG's opening just because the Phoenix is to survive longer. But SAG, as mentioned, it was not going to stop rolling this game.
Gaming's turn to ban.
Not quite yet anyway. If you're gaming, they'll go for the Mars pickup this last game. Yeah, we're having a decent old time. I can't say was on game. Game round. I feel like it was pretty darn well throughout the whole thing, but it's the thing about Mars, you can't just carry the game on your own. You're the Pulse 3, you bait, you GT Fire. That's very kind of it. See if Yank replicate balls. Maybe switch up the balls a little bit. Maybe don't go for that Luna. Go for something a bit more reliable, I suppose I want to call. Now, we go to the 5th man stage. Now, VG Gaming, they have about minute reserve time left, and they'll get rid of the Nug Byron. Lucky. Ban now, we'll get to see where their mouse headed.
Team pick.
As it stands, again, if we're talking about dealing with the egg, you've got heroes like the Ursa, which has been really popular with this meta, and it easily deal with the egg, and if you can't, the engage itself generally makes it so the egg won't do too much up against the Ursa.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't quite believe them if they literally wanted to go down that route. I mean, even the Bane Ursa combo in lane is actually pretty strong.
Oh yeah, it's a really strong combo to have on hand. We'll see whether or not they pick it up. It's surprising that neither side really has banned that out the past 2 games. As you put it, right there in the meta, and the trend seems to be leaving it alone for the most part. And when they do pick up, the build is very different, but hey, if it works, it works. You know, you can't argue with that. Still, they go to Rubik. Now, that does mean we're probably going to have the core of this game. I don't mind that at all. I think with Felix's performance last time, would want to give him that here again. You've got some pretty great spells to steal. The Mars has a lot of great spells. The Phoenix is fairly decent to steal out. You've got great setup, you've got great control for fights here. With Rubik and Pango, I think it's looking pretty darn solid. Now, you still don't have the way of melting through that egg, at least your support's don't. So there's still a bit more value there for Phoenix. We'll see if SAG does opt to go for, say, like that Ursa you mentioned. I think it's still very viable here. You will maybe worry a bit about the cutting in the arena. That can be an issue for the hero, but beyond that, it's not at big of a worry. You know, you're just playing around that ult. Outside that, you're gonna have a good time with that hero here.
Absolutely. Each game will have a bit of a real thing up now. Could be a tough game, but it's a bit difficult to run to. You can go a bit simpler with the match time. Of course, the Ursa has been popular at late. Bloodlust is not so much a broken ability, but pretty dunk. We can all agree on that. I'm a buffer. Somebody who just wants to go in the right place, always nice. It does kind of open them up as well. If they want to get now the Bloodlust, the Shadow Disruption, you could like maybe it'd be a bit more effective. But you can also just go any other as well, and all the like that they do anyway.
Yeah, it's a very safe pick, as mentioned. I think for VGs that got really tanky front runners, I love the response from SAG though. VG would have loved that Void, because you've got the egg, you've got the arena after the chrono if you wanted to, you've got the combos there, you've got the Magi. SAG takes it instead. So they're the ones who want to play around with it. You've got the Rubik steal, the Bloodlust if they need it for the Void. I think there's a lot of value in this pick. They will have to play around the chrono, and you don't have the best spell outside. The response from VG is still pretty good. Monkey Camp gets Void. If you can drop the Wukong right before the chrono, it's a bit harder for the Void to commit. And you've got great combinations now with the Molus of the Phoenix. So it's looking good for both sides. VG's was definitely going deeper into the team fight, deeper into the long spell cooldowns, especially Supernova and Wukong. That's something VG will have to manage. SAG only need to worry about Chronosphere.
Seattle and I mean, it's not even just the chrono, like you've got this amazing competition with the Muslim Phoenix. Yeah, it's always very hard to get on the egg once that Wukong and even the early match, like just blasting him up and I need to get the Jingle Marks across that much quicker. Certainly, game, but we'll get through soon. Two more to go before we get to see how they finish up there. I understand both teams are missing their mid-core. Of course, there's still the flexibility that if they wanted to run the Mars, the Monkey, they definitely could do so. All keep a little bit different for
Gaming's turn to ban.
Maybe they've already decided we'll throw them on kid. But Air Games, funnily enough, actually gonna ban out the little no.
That would have been a pretty decent here because you stay far enough away. Fights that the board will have to really try to target up. If it was outside, like Ray's just gonna ruin you in early chronos, so there is that worry, and the burst damage is great up against all the heroes on SAG's side. Just taking out that pretty nice bursty court, VG can play past it. I don't blame them. I think VG consider maybe much more ability coming to the mid, as mentioned. Of course, the Monkey could still be mid, but you want something to just really close out the team fight. It's already amazing. You might well go all in with a kind of draft because you've got all the spells. They ban out the Viper, but just taking care of that pesky hero. I think we've seen this before. You really just banned out to Inverter Mars has a good game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it'll pan out now. Get rid of the Viper. One more cup if this will really reveal who's playing mid, who's got to say.
10 seconds remain. Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Okay, solves this gap, so it should be that same you keep there for Euros. It's fucking Arendelle. Think about it. They go straight to the park. But I think it's perfect.
Oh yeah. This all ties in together. Really strong drafts from both sides. You've got great team fight coming out from either side. Really good timings. When it comes down to it, it is a bit harder to pull off VG's draft. You have to land egg perfect outside the arena. You have to have the arena coming out in the middle of everyone. Wukongs to follow up with your Storm and just getting free reign on the back line. There's a lot there to consider for VG when full fight breakdown. SAG, and they could focus on single target if they want to do the Bane. They could go for early Chronos with God King. They could stagger these spells, but they don't need to go all in. Use your spells perfectly. VG, they rely on a really clean team fight. So let's see whether or not they can pull it off. A lot on the line, VG. They would really like to force this one to a game 3.
Yeah. I don't know if you're getting death. This will make it directly through to the upper bracket finals of the Epic League. We'll find out who the other competitor is going to now next series, which is going to be RNG versus HC. Be able to try and contest there.
我是一个没有感情的刷钱机器。
Make it through the grand final. But leave that for me. Really, each gaming on get run. They really want to lose game 2 if they can avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tricky. Biggest worry of mine is timers, just how much farm you're gonna need on a Monkey and Storm. Like, these heroes do need to build up. They come online fairly quick, but they need to reach that point where they can just turn and fight. And sometimes it can be really slow, and that is one really nice courier that Monkey can turn into. It's just...
Where is this cat? Oh,
it's really just a cat.
Where is that courier from? I've never seen...
No, I think I've seen that. Like, I'm gonna have to check now. Just out of curiosity.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Don. I'm not a person myself, but it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's oh, it's from. How would we not know? It's from a Beyond the Summit item drop, or Beyond the Summit thing. So that's pretty ancient now. Dang, been a while since you've seen third-party tournaments with items.
We started casting after that wasn't a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And make enough that we don't know what the courier is.
Oh boy.
And find me BTS.
Oh no, it's oh yeah. So, I have to say, these water effects, man. Can't you guys just one water guy? Oh, Yang is just changing all of it every single time. It's all him and God King.
If this last game, God King was changing consistently throughout the game when nobody else was.
Just happened.
And I think Yang stitches back the stands. It's all about the rib color now. He's gonna fight back up against God King, not allow him to have that advantage. It's
I had that turned out. Yeah, I mean, look, SAG went out. The ones playing in that river, so at the end it does pay off, and they do start out with even bounties as well. Too exciting so far, and just head down to their lanes. That matchup is not something you get to see too often nowadays. Puck against Storm. Now, there are ways for the Storm to play this really aggressive, but DD early on does have range advantage, does have easier to spam spells. Should be a bit tricky for Ori to really build a sizable lead early on.
And we saw it happen to him as well in the landing stage. Like, it was a different matchup between the M and Storm. But obviously, he wants to watch her in this mid lane. Each gaming will treat him the same way they treated him last game, where you just continually walk in and just try and pick him off over and over again, if not just climb down. And I suppose the positive for gaming, if they did match do that this game around, is Puck is so much of a great junking hero. He does require the lane farm being more further than any kind of jungle farm. So you can really show him quite nicely if you force him to lane.
Yeah, that is something that you're gonna have to be a bit cautious about. Can't afford to bleed out as much in this lane. And once you have that set, at least you can have a lot more activity on the side lanes. That's gonna be a key timing for our puck.
Your lane seems to be struggling just a little bit up against OP, and of course Felix, a rough time for him. You gotta watch out for the disarms coming out from OP, T-shot. As well as the fade bolt, of course. It's annoying to have you damaging just every time you go in for a loss here. There's not much DY can do about apart from just harassing him himself, and in all fairness, he does have three goes already ready for Soga. That's opted Ignite and Bloodlust for now as well. Just really want to amplify what you're this thing. That doesn't opt for the Fire Blast yet.
Yeah, I think this is really the way to go for this lit, and like you maybe value point in the blast just to secure a kill down the line or just get control, but beyond that, this is a really hard lane to actually clean up in the end.
Yeah, if God's gonna pop the Ignite, it doesn't really. It's just fine. Out of the bot lane as well, of course, is the PYW once again. They're in charge of trying to slow down bot tier scam on the Void. It's a much different game in comparison to the game he had in the end. The Void will sort of farm a lot, but near as much as an A8 will. It's expected to get more active on a Chrome up and just making some plays across the map every time it is available.
Yeah, it's gonna be a look.
Getting body blocked by D1. This could be the first, and it will be D1 will be forced before he gets through D past the T1. Oh, they do manage to secure for the bottom of the side beach gaming.
Yeah, it's a really good start for BG. Just giving themselves that bit of lead on Eurus. Monkey King does need to be up and running really fast. So that early advantage is going to be key for Eurus to start to come online and get his own movement across the map.
DY is just rotating in now. Just needs to wait for that level 3. Trying to secure the power room for Ori, who is kind of dependent indeed. If he does go in, does not taken. Now they realize it is down to the bot lane where Panther is already guarding it, and it is going to get more damage for all things. That determines the outcome of this mid matchup, and that is going to be a huge now for the Storm.
A lot of damage that BD can't pump out on a whim, or he's to be a bit careful with trading here.
Not for the next minute you can't. More he's just going to focus on denying out every single creep. Apart from that, which he does use Overload 4. Never fun to allow the other mid laner to get a double damage. It looks like DY will be just forced to come and TP in, give it over to Ori, and give him brown boots as well. And Ori will also have the bounty is bottle up, so he does essentially get back full HP, full mana. But he is forced to leave the lane for a wave or two while this is fit. No worries. It's not good that, like, the game itself is just terrible when this is the battle pass. Really, it's been sort of lucky and unstable. I'm sure they're trying to fix, but you know. Lane, God King, he is taking pressure if gang. Feel like for a bit, already had to go to that mid lane to look double damage. Have the drop the past waves, but the Red Panda doesn't make his way back. Dang, I'm still having a great game if you stop on that Mars. Don't be contested ball. There's not much you can do to avoid to contest Mars in lane. You just gotta try and secure as much farm as possible. That's exactly what he does.
It's been a bit tricky for God King. You tend to see, ooh, nice spear to cancel this out, but you tend to see Voids want to play further forward or to put the limits of time walk, but you can't when the damage is just really pumped out over a long period of time, and Red Panda might be a bit too forward.
It's, he might be able to you don't know, he had Fairy Fire available and now the spear is there and still trying to get the kill on the Phoenix. He will not be able to get the last attack off. It's going to be another kill now for BG Gaming. Well, it's a 2-0 start, Vici. They're happy with this. Still top lane, they may try and make a play on to OP. God, though, no, the start being thrown up to DY. But you know this is the start of Vici game, right? Like, they do need the better start here with this kind of early-orientated style of draft. You need the monkey, you need the Mars all to have a good time, and all the boxes have been ticked.
Yeah, that's gonna help them escalate into that mid game. Still, DD at level 7, ready to get some rotations out.
Yeah, but Chris made the run with a hatred on these, but they're gonna have to back up the storm. In Colo, it's better now. A 3-man battle strike. Corey will jump in. He's in deep trouble. He'll try on the way. But Haystrew is gonna make sure they can chase him down. Will also be chased down, and probably he's just dead here. Corey's setting a double now, going after Felix as well. He might be able to secure a triple, but he'll leave it to Eurus as Panther. He's gonna come at Eurus. Have you gone too far here? It looks like he may have thought, no, the boundless strike. He's back up playing B, and he'll be able to just jump his way back to his side of the map.
Yeah, that's a very balanced trade there coming out for VG. Just punching that aggression SAG's trying to pump out. Not the best of starts here for SAG. They had to drag DD out of his lane to try to find that first Dream Coil game not ending up well. And Ori off to a really good start from the Storm. Just finds himself 2 good kills, continues to build up. Should be a really good pace for VG coming out of that laning phase.
Out of 4 VG Gaming, they'll just keep up what they're doing. Top lane, OP has to be cautious about his positioning right now. Still level 5 on that Pangolier, and that means he can't really escape very well. They tried to pick him like name on top, but he does go for the creep wave pull and does get it off. You're almost at that point now as well where Eurus might start rotating on that monkey. He's hasn't got many items yet, but you don't really need too many as this hero. We'll see what he does decide to do. You don't really want to play the farm game up against the Void. That generally doesn't favor you. And speaking of that, Void Yang looks like he committed an arena of blood down to bot lane, but it did not pan out. Meanwhile, top lane, however, OP was in a bit of trouble, but he does manage to swashbuckle underneath his tier 1 tower. There was a rotation out from Ori as well in the Storm. Doesn't quite get the kill, but he's finding a hell of a lot of neutral items while he's here.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold still going towards Ori. It's not being slowed down by these rotations as he does have easy access to the jungle. Do you see SAG? I mean, they've got level 6 on God King. They want to play around at Chrono. They're not finding that opening just yet.
No, they haven't. God King, he might want the Mask of Madness first before he commits the first Chrono of the game, but I say that now they've got plenty of follow-up for the Chrono if they didn't want to commit now. But even DD is just the recipe away from a Battle of Discord. That's when you really start seeing that magic coming into that park. And if you want more DD, you'd rather just wait for that moment. Still, Ori, he's found Red Pattern. It's gonna be the 5th still for VG Gaming, the 3rd for Ori on that Storm. And it's becoming a real burnout for SAG. Like, it's finding way too much harm on the map. It's top of the net worth board by 4.4k. We saw what DD could do last game with all that farm he got. You don't want to give no use Ori as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a really strong timing on that Kaya, and then he's just gonna be doing too much damage across the map. There's not much from SAG to hold him back. Maybe you're looking at the level 6 of the Bane to get control there, but you're fairly close. It needs to come out a bit faster, and you're at that point where you don't even have brown boots on Red Panda just yet.
Panda's coming in. Burn team's gonna set up for the opposing tier 1 towers. One of tier 1, of course, Bomber stolen by Felix as well, so he can really camp Bomber. He gone, but the Bloodlust is not making too hard to go by Blast. It's gonna be there before the wrong Thunder can continue, and Felix, the head comes out, he's gonna die as well. So great sets up from the side of VG Gaming. Well, it was just a bit of a precocious kind of situation there for the Pango, right? Running with that tier 1 when it's plus it up, and the wrong Thunder did not work out.
kind of like that. And SAG now, I mean, they've been trying to force things out, but not this far. They're still holding on to some key spells, and they really need to play around that early chrono if they want these spells.
Oh, not from now. Already is there with the pipeline. Follow on C1. Should be able to stop here onto DD. We do have Felix coming in. He takes the ball lining and now Rolling Thunder is there as well. They do kill DD, but that Rolling Thunder, it's not connecting on anyone. Already, he does get the vision and he will be safe. And they could try and chase DY here for their first kill of the game on SAG. He's a tanky support, but they should be able to get it done. Does have its spear, so you've got to be careful. There goes Felix. He needs to keep mana for that lift. He'll take the blood loss. Now the God King, this will be a kill onto DY, surely. He gets Fire Blast for DY. Well, he's wasting so much time, but it will be the first kill for SAG.
Yeah, I mean, a kill's a kill. It's just such a massive commitment from SAG to find it at the end. That was enough time for VG to finish up that Kaya on Ori. So his damage shoots up. He is going to rush the Bloodstone this time around instead of the BKB we saw DD do in the last game. But with how SAG's been going, you probably don't need that BKB. Like, you're not getting Chronos fly out. You're going to see Red Panda have to make a decision in these fights as to who to grip. If you play your cards right, Ori's just not going to be under any sort of threat. So SAG, they've got to watch out for these timings. VG, they're about to kick up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really keep this ball rolling for VG. The 3K net worth, they definitely can, assuming Ori's going to be involved. Not playing the bunch of OP got now. Sunray there. Rock that won't get in time and actually stuns him on the way in. That was OP got just making sure he wasn't going to risk anything that time around. Even with just on Ori being there, they just committed to get their out. He got still gets Fire Blaster. They might even sit back in now. However, they got the Fiend's Grip on that storm. It's going to be a lot of conflict down right now. Look at this one. He's still fine. DD, he has been stunned up, but Chrono does come in from God King. He does get the storm. Now he gets the fight down to Red Panda. He's on a double on the gate. DY will be able to back off. Maybe the left from Felix. Yeah, he's coming in, but how do you fight this? Swashbuckle up from OP, but now God King goes back into DY. They'll get another. Now going up to the bars. Wilkins' command is up from Eurus, and that should be enough to protect Yang. And they'll go after Red Panda. However, they found Yang. Oh no, he's out of the circle now. He's not within safety. Did you go back after him to have the damage? That do. And Eurus, they know where he went. He will be able to prime spring out in time. And that was the first chrono of the game we've seen. And it was very, very effective.
Oh yeah, just really good timing coming out from God King to find those key kills. And VG, they were a bit ahead earlier on. They had all they never had a massive net worth lead. At least not big enough that you can be really comfy with trading like this. And SAG, with those kills, set it back down to less than a K coming out from VG. A lot of that is basically just an Ori. Not seeing the tightest distribution of gold here from VG, so there's been a lot of room for SAG to breathe. Although God King don't want to be here.
King, you don't want like this, but they don't get himself off in time.
Is under attack.
That's a bit awkward. Unless DY does play Steve Bob's word, have vision, but couldn't quite get there. Mid lane, already you can't time like that. They are going to drop the arena. Is it going to be enough though? A spear out from the Rubik on the feet. He might be falling down or forward. No, they're not going to jaunt in. Rather, just keep that roll and stand calm. Poor old Yang. No, he's really going to survive this. He will die. Already, he's got to be more cautious than that. He's lost his net worth lead that he had. Now, he's something on top of that worth.
Yeah, this is a very scary spot for VG to be in. Their lineup relies on snowballing hard, on getting this 5v5 team fights, but they've been staggered the past few fights, and that's not the situation they want to find themselves in. This is almost reminiscent of how Game 1's network was created around. You saw VG with pretty early leads, they weren't leading by the biggest margins, and then SAG bounces back in from a couple of fights, start building up their lead. So VG, they need to play as 5. They need to land the arena, land the Wukongs, land the egg. Have to be pretty cautious about the faces Void now, as Chrono is going to be back up, so gonna have to choose their fights carefully before committing.
They will. But the Phoenix group up on Red Panda again. Also, he really does have to be very, very cautious about many ways to cancel that off either. Only got the Ogre and the Mars, assuming the Storm gets caught out. Felix gonna spot out D1, they're gonna be a great Dream Core and let Monkey King now the speed from Felix. Get out of the tree, and D1. Oh, he's got help coming in the form of PYW, but all he can do is throw a Fire Spirit down. Rolling Thunder, this will confirm the kill. He'll get his bounty, get a double kill as well. Yes, I mean, he's trying to just get action on the opposing team and set up the kill, but they are all over him.
Yeah, this is getting really tricky now for VG. They've bled away their lead entirely. It's now 1K going away of SAG. You see DD with that early blink just being such a menace. He is nearly impossible to pick up now from VG's end. They just don't have hardest lockdown for something like the puck. So Deep is abusing that mobility greatly. And you take a look at what VG's saving up for. You look at Eurus. He's pushing the Ags and Monkey. Now, we do see Ags Monkey a lot. As a second item in this kind of game though, it's not something you tend to see too often.
It's a hard one. You know, it does give you some fighting if you get caught on the program up against God King, right? Because you still get stash coming up. But even then, will it pay off? Oh, we'll find out soon. There's going to be speed coming out now near one. Oh, just don't worry. He's got the Mars as well. About then the Dream Pool, they do keep up the swarm. Double arena being dropped as well. And then they don't realize it's their arena. Eurus will die. See why? He's in purple. He's trying to get healing. Gets killed. He will die in the process, and then he thinks, just run, sir. Run. This is not what you came here for. It will.
Are fortified.
That does not happen.
Is under attack.
Talked about Felix much on this route, but he is doing a real darn great.
He's in. I think it has to be pointed out. This guy is just nuts. He keeps stealing the spears. He keeps finding follow-ups. He can't get people through it. That's the biggest takeaway. We've seen this before, but he is really showing it off in this game.
Wait, he even got the arena, and VG Gaming didn't know which one was theirs. They thought it was their arena, so they started trying to run out of it. Then they realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm hurting myself. Just gonna wait this one out.
Oh yeah, it's painful
as well. No hesitation from the Void in crowing that Storm Spirit. You know, there's a lot of ways to think about crowing 2-3 people. Oh God, as soon as he sees Ori, he commits. We're gonna dump on that baby, throwing thunder around, connecting on Ori again. Another flip for Ori. How did he pop back? Wukong's command getting cancelled by OP God as well. Now he's got the Nightmare around. A great battle of Eurus. He's jumping in after a Panda who can't defend himself right now, and he will die. And with the red coil with that throw, you can't fight back. So VG Gaming could at least get themselves a position 5 pick-off.
Yeah, pretty good pull to come out from VG. Not the biggest, but still something to pick up. That was rather strange from SAG. They had the Nightmare out on Yang. They were taking out the early growing here. They opted to try to capture the outpost instead. So decent punishment coming out from VG from that play. And they do give themselves a little bit more to play with. You do see Eurus does swap out the item build. So you're looking at the Maelstrom next Star Monkey, just give him a little bit more farm, a little bit more presence early on. You can't really afford to wait for such a big item to come out. You have to match the aggression. SAG is just pumping out already.
Look like VG Gaming, they're trying to make way down to go on to DD, but he's already out of it. So you're just gonna take the time to just farm up. SAG, they're just gonna back out, group up again. You've got the Chrono, you've got the Dream Core, you've got the Phoenix Group, you've got everything. But they're not trying to rush into this. They're allowing God King to just go for that very similar style build of the SMW power, but now they're gonna come in. The double Dream Cores out. Like W will get trying his egg off. No, it's on cooldown. Can't even do that. Now DY will also chase down on that Ogre. And this is such a question of positioning of VG Gaming a little. You don't have the air guard, so why are you there?
Yeah, it's optimistic to be at that point that early on. And on the bright side for VG, they only lose their support. On the other hand, SAG didn't really sacrifice anything.
Top lane! I'm trying to speed for the trailer again. It's gonna get monkey.
Felix, he's done this 3 times now. He's during us up.
He had 0 vision. He just tried. He's like, maybe there's a monkey in this. Turns out he was right. Now they're gonna jump in, or he's trying to go up. Thinking I can't blame him. They're gonna try to brace him down. He falls away. Now he's gonna be in trouble. He also died. They put this in a decent trade there. But if you're SAG, you're not going to be too upset about that because you understand that this draft of VG Gaming is not going to transition for later on. Not making it happen now.
I mean, there are some power spikes from VG that would be pretty scary. I think if you reach the late game where Ori will get the Ags, that's a bit of control that you have to worry about. But SAG will always have the trump card. They'll always have Chrono, and we've seen that when you reach, let's see, the 15-minute. The Chronosphere is the deciding factor, and you don't have anything equivalent from VG, so to be careful. This game a bit too slow.
I mean, it's not.
They are still hitting.
Not only the Chrono, right? But even the if you go Agon instead the game coil.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be very problematic to deal with, and they stuck up. Look at this actually Dagon coming out on D now. Yeah, he gets the Dagon 1. Maelstrom is available on Eurus, but I just don't see it making that big of a difference. And well, they're trying to take the up back, and unfortunately for them, it's going to cost them pause 5, and the outpost will be taken back by SAG anyway.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's bottom
cannot be lost in the world.
Got the nightmare. Arena's gonna beat there. Just going straight on that bait, but the coil has been committed on Ori. It might buy the time. Felix, he'll take the speed back. Now Ori is gonna zip out, but P God is on the chase. Sconking. Yeah, and he's definitely the easiest time to catch up. So go on to it, but look at God. He's for the backline now. He gets 3 of them. He zipped into it. No, that is not it, but the Sunray will keep him up. Now the Wukong's connect is there, but no, you just cancel it off. Hunting in trouble, he might they get the stun, they take the void kill. And now the Park jumping back in, trying to snipe somebody out, but he couldn't get anyone. But that was a very nice Chrono, just did not work out with the Sunray healing them off.
Oh yeah, it was really tight. It looked really good, but PYW with a max sun rate level 13. Well, that's just a bit too much to play into, and VG starting to reel it back in a bit. SAG.
Oh, double free. Another nice throw to Eurus. He can't do much right now. And under as well, but here comes Ori. He wants that quick death. He does get 80 first, though. That's a massive kill to get, and now Felix also top tank. I gotta say, VG Game is not pushing it back quite nicely. In fact, Red Panther, he's trapped up in that arena. He tries to use that concept, but it only amplifies the damage of DY. And perhaps now you can try and Roshan.
Yeah, it's gonna be really important for VG to find this objective. SAG, I can have a least way of having that. They do have top Dream Coil, but this Rosh is gonna be blunting it too fast for that respawn.
Matter will. Let go comes great Mickey from VG Gaming. Go get it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's time for why to be that menace he's meant to be on the storm. He gets region on top of it. And this is that way you just hide if you're SAG. At least for the next few minutes while that Aegis is there. The only problem is, of course, VG Gaming is every single advantage they get in the meantime. They'll start with the top tier 1 towers.
Yeah, it's going to be important to clear out the objectives they can. I think SAG, they've still got a lot of fighting. Like, the main issue right now is that God King doesn't have the most damaging build. He went for the Gavin's Halberd, He's got the gotcha up, of course, so that's it on top of Master of Madness. With the defusal, should have a bit to pump up, but not nearly bursty enough to handle how big VG's heroes are just in terms of stats. So just stall out the game, build it up on your Void, get the Dagon's up and running on DD, because Dagon 1 just kind of tickles, although he does switch out for the Axe. So they want to build that just yet, want the additional control instead.
I can't blame him for that. Like, the Dagon's gonna be nice to just try to finish one off. Like, if you've caught Ori at Storm, he's not gonna be disabled long enough to actually to kill him off. I guess the Dagon can be that one nice little burst out of the park. Especially they'll have scored the be up as well. But
Radiant's middle tower.
I think the Axe is just so much more worth it though. Now smoke up the BG and they want to really try and press the advantage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Being up on Ori as well. CDs knowing something is wrong here, but they've got so many walls up, out, picking them out, just run. DY still in the front line. That's great. CD is there with RuHub and Perimeter. Oh, they're going to jump in. Perimeter committed. It's just on the pips. They want to burst out the support, get rid of that mech, but he's not fast enough. Now the ring comes down with the stun and the being committed. Oh, that was a very desperate kind of team fight to take there. SAG, they could have just kept running, but they decided they'd rather take the team fight. It was more than nothing.
Yeah, they don't have access to the as well. So they don't have to defend the high ground if VG decides to push it, and there's nothing stopping them from just chipping away at the retreat.
Not even chipping away, John. It's gonna take out. It's gonna take down the cities. Good, come out, just tank through the creep wave. With blood loss, you can take it so much faster. Why? You're always gonna have the Sunray back you up if you need some added kills, but they're just that tanky right now. And we want Rats to go down. Red Panda trying to slow it down a little bit. Might be able to kill off this ogre. Nobody backs him up, but D might be just fine. They get still there for Felix. But you do have that Aghanim Scepter up on Euros, and they're getting a lot scarier if you are running SAG.
Yeah, they've definitely shot down in terms of their own power spike. They need to reel things back, try to push up certain items on their Void, items on their pot, because right now they don't have enough to handle VG. Like we saw it last time. King can't even burst down to support Felix anymore. He just does not have damage.
Felix. Or is it that point where he can just zip in whenever he sees someone, just claim kill for himself?
Are under attack.
Bet you with that Aegis, you're scared of nothing. They'll go down to the bot lane now.
Has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under
It won't be
attack.
too hard for the task to just take this out, though we will see a smoke coming up from the game now. They want to try and press the issue a bit more.
Dyer's
Bruno still has 30 seconds to go, and a zip in again after Red Panda this time. They'll choose to step up, but he's probably going to die regardless, as he does speed up, and he just caught up.
This will come in handy.
And SAG will just keep trying to farm whatever they can.
And they've got way too far behind. 10k lead now for VG, just really overtaken. And man, even just having that solar crest on DY, just you can't focus down any of these heroes anymore.
He catches out the park. He can't butt like this. He has to commit the breath to get out of there, but they were waiting. Yeah, Yang just said, hey, you're in my arena now. The very least for SAG, the Aegis has no Spire. That's one less thing they have to worry about. But on the negative side, they're 11k behind. So that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's slipping a bit away here for SAG. They still have the control. They just lack the damage. They lack the follow-up to those tools, and VG, they've managed to really hold out. They were falling behind quite a fair bit there, but they just build up an Ori, they give Eurus the space he needs. You don't have the solutions to these heroes. Like, you've still got a 9-second charge on Ori on that BKB. Still gonna be very long on that Storm, and that just means Ori gets free reign in the fights. So SAG gotta be careful with where they choose to fight out. They need to play around the chrono perfectly, and that's where it gets a bit iffy when you don't have the items on God King just yet.
No, definitely not. Again, they are picking up that double damage, so of course Ori will go ahead and take it for himself. You've almost got the map drop out on God King. He just needs that multiple rule, but even then I doubt he has enough damage. Okay, God, gonna start rolling in onto PY Pumpy. They do have the Phoenix there, but do they have the damage? God King's coming in now. However, that Phoenix, they'll drop the now, just trying to survive it. Well, it was an effect from the Phoenix. They will catch out God King. They move the kill. Meanwhile, back to the back lines, Felix to also buy. And there was also an arena there onto OP. They called the GG. They are too far behind to win this game out. And with no buybacks left, either
FY, he's found himself No Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No Tail as Ame comes in for the kill secure.
I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He's just, I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're gonna struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, and but Ana wasn't able to do damage because of his rupture. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb.
Oh, Ame's gonna invis here.
Gotta be careful who shows up top. Indeed, Jerax. He's going out on his own. He doesn't expect Ame to have this invis route. As Ame will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He is toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees, he's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Ame looks like he is level at the end.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Things. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because JerAx doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the agony. So. As Thompson, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink Claws as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, full I've Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character's going to get FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel them. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson, he's running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the stride, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in this series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. And X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. You're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wards that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of racks. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the 3 of them. Knocks them out, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PL army's on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top racks. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close to Brew is at 25. I mean,
so close.
With that, time will split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball. He turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail. FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for this team fight. The LGD are for gold, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. They give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They're back away.
They can't count. They fought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T3s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be out. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7, same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick
Dire
up
team back.
Protected in home.
VG Gaming's turn to ban.
It's also pretty scary for Baby right now. He only has a 5-second peak.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. VG Gaming's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. VG Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Welcome back. We are here for the final game of this
VG Gaming's turn to ban.
Inspired. John, welcome back, sir. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It was a rather surprising turnaround from VG. You know, SAG, they were playing fantastically in game 2. They were finding the early kills. Felix was doing amazing work with his Rubik, but it wasn't enough. And VG, they were getting a little bit of space to grow big. They take it and really just widen that gap. So SAG, they've got to be careful. They can't play complacent. A couple of slip-ups like on game 2, and VG, well, they just blow open the game with those kinds of plays.
The one consistent thing right now is apparently whatever team gets Storm Spirit apparently just wins the game. Both Storm Spirit performances were quite good, in all honesty. I mean, that's the only way to put it. Sparking Arrow Gaming, though, all the draft is done, and their first pick, they go back to the clockwork, which we did see in game 1. It starts off kind of weird if you're running the core clockwork, right? Because it's a bit of a slow process, and you might... OP Godlived had a bit of a rough time in the first game, but once you've run past that landing stage, it seems to be the point where that clockwork can become a real problem, even as a core. Especially if you do tend to go for the Hood of Defiance, which means you're just that much tankier, based on what kind of damage that you have. But VG Gaming won't fret too much, they're going to the Grimstroke.
Yeah, I love the Grimstroke pickup here from VG. Obviously, they go with a lot of combinations, and they do go with the Ember Spirit Grimstroke. So that's something we've seen a lot of, mainly in Southeast Asia, at least when we cast. We haven't seen it too much in China, but it's a strong combo to have still. After all this time, you've got great distance clearing, you've got great follow-up for the Ember. The Inkswell just amazing. Soulbine's pretty darn good too. Well, the combination there isn't too great. SAG, I mean, they start with that clock, they play well, but they go to the Venomancer. And, yeah, interesting is a word to use. Still not my favorite here to see. We've seen a couple of teams slip back to the Venom for early aggression, for early magic. There are ways to make it work, but the timing is really sensitive, so we'll see whether or not SAG can maximize of that hero very early on. They'd have to play pretty aggressive with this kind of line.
There's that root coming off Ichi now, so they're not allowed to get that third Rubik we've been seeing every game. It's Sparking Arrow King refused, wasted time. They go straight for the Brewmaster now. And I'm kind of wondering who's playing core here? You've got 3 potential options right now on the side of Sparking Arrow. I'm gonna assume it's the Brewmaster.
For sure. I think the Brew needs the space the most. He's the guy that really escalates with a farm and with EXP. He's the most disruptive lane as well, so I would toss him as priority on the off. I think SAG might be able to flex the Venom as, say, a mid laner. A support duo of Clock Venom just... It sounds like it has a lot of holes. There's a lot of ways for VG to kind of manipulate that. On the other hand, that is a support duo that comes line really quick. You just need a little bit of EXP from the lane phase and they do a ton of damage. So that is something SAG could consider. I have to say, it's rather curious to pick the Brewmaster into the Rubik. Like, there are tons of ways for the Rubik to really enjoy that matchup. Just get a lot of control out early on. So we'll see just how effective SAG can make this Brew be. Of course, if you do allow it to have space, it's very disruptive. It's very hard here to keep in control. So that's something VG will have to pay attention to. You can't allow the Brew to really run away. We've seen so many times with the Master players where they are just so darn annoying in that.
Centaur Warren are now going to come out from VG Gaming, so not a bad pick. We've seen Yang play this many times before, and he does tend to do a pretty darn good job of that Centaur. However, in SAG fashion, again refusing to use any of their time, we'll go straight into the Lena pick now, and this draft's looking really weird from SAG, I've got to say. I don't know what they're up to yet. All I can tell you is, it comes to line very early, and all these heroes create a lot of chaos. But apart from that, excuse me, my dog's apparently going off in the background, but apart from that, this draft does look very confusing from SAG. It's like, what's the game plan apart from we can make all kinds of chaos happen in a team fight?
It's like, well, the lanes are fairly open. I think the key thing is your timers are really short. So you're going to be playing a fast game regardless. You don't want to drag this one out too long. You're going to have to look for the early objectives, look for the early kills, because this lineup, it goes with a boom and then really melts out, especially that Venomancer. It's something we talk about when the hero is picked, but again, you have to play really fast when you draft that Veno. SAG's got the follow-up for it. We'll see how they pull it out. Like, at this point, you don't really expect like a farm-heavy core to come out anymore. You just want something that plays at that pace, maybe just needs very slight farm to start contributing and really take over the map. Because the moment you miss out on these spikes from PG, falls apart. Like, these heroes, the clock still has utility and the Brewmaster does as well, but the damage from the Veno tapers off. The Lina can't taper off until you start building towards right click, but that is very late in the game. So have to play pretty fast here with SAG's draft, and they're gonna need a very fast last pick.
We've up with the final ban, and here we go again. Just a straight Terrorblade pick coming out now. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this draft anymore. Do I like it? No. That's as far as I can go with this. I don't like what SAG's gone with their draft. I won't say it's bad, because I don't know what their game plan is. And this is the upper bracket, right? Yeah. The winner of this gets to the finals. This game's going to decide. There's no time to play around here for SAG. And judging by how fast they made these picks, John, they must be quite confident.
Honestly, it's a very awkward draft from SAG, but it does come online fast. Think about the push. Lina, Veno, Terrorblade. Towers will melt. The Terrorblade doesn't take too much farm early. Like, he's just going to be so hard to deal with. Although you do have, admittedly, there is some really good match damage from VG. The Ember Spirit and Grimstroke might be a bit much. So that's something for SAG to have to respect. But I can see what they're trying to do. I'm with you though. I don't agree with this kind of draft, but if they can actually get control, it might be a bit too much to try to stop. It's a very aggressive startup here for SCG.
Choose your hero.
Oh.
Okay, the PL comes out. There's not really too many ways to deal with the PL in this game, in all fairness. I say that you do have the Lina, decent wave. You've got the Venom as well. Apart from that, though, there's nothing else. Unless you do manage to, of course, maybe hook onto the PL, you maybe get him in the Tornado of the Brewmaster. Yeah, a bit detrimental to your game. But apart from that, it does seem like a very free PL game. Look at that Terrorblade that God King's gonna have to make work. By the way, that's a sick color to have on that Terrorblade. I've never seen the green before. But
yeah.
Even the wings, by the way, I haven't seen those either. But if you can't get an amazing advantage throughout that early to mid game, I think Eurus just has the freest game of his life.
Yeah. It's going to be an issue. You can't allow this one to drag out too long for SAG. They don't quite have solutions to that PL, as you mentioned. So I love the way VG's close out. It does mean that VG will have to try to counteract that early aggression from SAG with basically 4 heroes. Eurus, you're not going to contribute too much until maybe you see the Manta Diffusal going out early on. Maybe he might opt for the SNY just for stats to join in earlier. It really depends on how VG decides to go about it.
Whoa, take it easy.
It's really great,
mate.
It's right at our face.
I looked away from the screen for a second. I looked back and there was someone trying to attack me. It's not really as threatening with OP got Venom, I'm gonna say though.
Yeah, he's just spitting on us. You know, it's not scary. It's just mildly offensive, but not scary. Definitely not.
True.
Prepare for battle.
Pause 3 Venom answer. And it's going to be on the Clockwork. So that's a pause 5 Clockwork and a pause 4 Brewmaster.
Interesting. I mean, you've seen pause 4 Brew before. Not very recently.
It's an interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's all I really can say about it. I'm not very keen on it, mind you, but again, SAG's draft, it's very different but explosive. So if they can't actually win out in laning, then if they keep that pace, take the early objectives, it is pretty scary. They just have to reach that point.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and take the output straight away. Standard South, they won't be able to find God King. He's in a very defensive position right now on that Terrorblade. Of course, that mid matchup, you'll see Ori there, and he's going to be up against, well, not Red Panda, he's not, it's going to be the Lina, of course. So DD now going to have a completely different hero this time around, and see Ori go back to that Ember Spirit he did play in Game 1. Can be very dangerous on this Ember as well. We did see this, I believe it was yesterday. He was just carrying a game completely with the Ember. Not so much today though, not yet, but this might be the game we see it. Of course, we'll have OP God Felix hanging out with each other down that bot lane, and Eurus will be there as well, up against them on the PL. DY will join him as well on the Grimstroke. Be very interesting though to see how this support Brewmaster pans out, I've got to say. He does decide to, you know what, if you do go for the Cinderbrew maxing out, as well as OP God's AO and Poison Sting, that could be pretty devastating.
Yeah, that does pile on and just refresh itself, so I guess there's that to consider in this specific combination. That was probably just what SAG wants to get done.
It's... I'm going to keep an eye on this lane, just to see, once they get level 2 or 3, I want to see what they do with it. Top lane, of course, King's going to be there, trying to deal with Yang, but this is a very difficult lane to deal with, and he does get stunned up. Yang going to level 1 Hoop Stomp for the Retaliate, which is a bit unorthodox, but can still be very, very effective in terms of harassment, especially up against the Terrorblade, who does tend to have a very, very high amount of base armor.
It's going to be tearing right through him when he does come in for the last hits. You also see the Conjure Image being prioritized by God King, so you're not seeing the level 1 Metamorphosis, which means it can be a bit harder to find some easy last hits here.
That it can be. Back down to that bot lane. They're about to hit level 2. Haven't really seen much happen yet. I think DY is probably going to be the main target they focus on with that Cinderbrew Gale. Because it's just going to be so easy to burst him down. Especially if Felix does go for something like the Drunken Brawler afterwards. That damage output can get a little bit insane with all those crits though. Top lane, Red Panda. Dealing with creep, but now does get it denied in his face. The barrier assault ends. That's a bit of a shame. PYW just walk away, feeling proud of himself now. On the brighter side for SAG, so far God King, I mean, it's not amazing considering the style he's having right now. It's not too bad either. It just seems as though he's not able to close the gap on that creep until he does go for the meta. And now he'll be able to farm a lot more safely.
Oh. Red Panda though?
Trouble. PYW gets another hit off. It's not enough. He'll survive. He will commit this south now. Bot lane as well, by the way. DY ended up falling very low, and I believe that was the combo we were looking for. He does commit his own self. But it's just so much dot damage with the Cinderbrew, Poison Sting, and Gale that he lost like 3/4 of HP, and I didn't even see them auto-attacking him. Now it goes again. He's playing a lot more cautiously now, understanding what they're up to. Well, there's a double Gale with the Cinderbrew. So early level with Cinderbrew, and that dot damage is going to hurt once you get a few more levels up. And mid lane as well. PYW going to make a rotation now. DD even his target. He does get lifted back up and thrown back down. Ori, LSA will be dodged out. Very nice by him, but now Red Panda's here. It won't be enough. PYW does claim the first blood of this game. Gets on the brighter side. Red Panda does get a bit of XP for himself in the mid lane, but you don't want to be losing that Lina like that. It's not good news.
No, definitely not, and that does give Ori a bit more breathing room. You did see a lot more going towards DD in that mid lane, just really abusing that range advantage and the wave clearing capabilities of the Lina. So this was something Ori really needed to draw. Even, I don't think DD falls behind too far behind there, but you'd rather maintain that lead for yourself as the Lina.
Top lane, and Yang is just going at God King right now. He just does not care, does not respect him at all. Almost takes him out as well. He will force out the salve. You cannot leave the Terrorblade alone. When he does not have Metamorphosis, there is no way he's farming.
Oh no. It's really tricky for God King to maintain that lane solo. But he has to, because Red Panda's going to have to follow PYW around every single time the Rubik gets rotation out.
Bot lane as well, Inkswell onto Eurus, trying to go after OP, got with the Stroke of Fate. It's not going to be quite enough damage, but they get a hell of a lot of harass out, and he'll also commit his own self now, that Venomancer. But there has been a bit of a struggle here for Eurus as well, in terms of the safe lane of VG Gaming. He just doesn't feel comfortable to be able to come close to those last hits, because you've always OP gone. Just having that Poison Sting denies his own ward off as well, not giving any form of gold way to that PO. Just a very difficult situation for both safe lanes where they just can't farm efficiently.
Yeah, it's here for God King to play catch up in the jungle. It is a Terrorblade. You've got the image. He does have Metamorphosis as well to play around with. It is slightly tricky for Eurus. He's just trying to get the pulse off, clearing out that large hand. He can't really just spend all his time in the jungle, so that's a slight win for SAG. More efficiency in the jungle with Terrorblade. Give Panda some space for EXP, so there's a bit of upside to it, but not too much.
Felix trying to make a rotation into the mid lane onto Ori, but it's kind of hard to break the distance as that Brewmaster pos for. He does, of course, secure the power into the 6-minute mark. It looks like that's all he really wanted anyway. He's back down to the bot lane where they'll just continue trying to shut down Eurus, and Eurus is officially being shut down. He's in 3 right now on the PL. You've got God King, he's really caught up now. 43 and 6, top of the last hit spawn in that jungle. A real problem here for VG Gaming that they're going to need to sort out soon. But I believe they're just waiting on getting enough levels up to make a rotation.
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
it's gonna be
is under attack.
down to those mids to get the early aggression out, and you see rotations. Felix wanting to stop that push up top, but he's still level 3 on that Brewmaster, and yeah, just cops a couple of hits. He's got the Vanguard up at sub 7 minutes on his Centaur, so it's just unkillable at this point in the game.
Yeah, quite literally, they literally can't kill him unless that Lena comes in with some magic damage. But even then, they'll have to ignore the Centaur and maybe just focus on PYW. But there's no real point in
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Red Panda. You'll be alright. Peacock could be in trouble bot lane. DY making his route back into that safe lane, but looks like OP will be just okay to walk out of there. Red Panda gonna go in onto Yang, but you just don't have the damage up, but there's no point in doing that. Luckily for him, Yang does miss the hoof stomp. I mean, they're obviously trying to contest that neutral camp and not give all that gold away to Yang. Probably not worth your life, though.
No, definitely not. I mean, to be fair to SAG, there's not really much Esports can do. OP is maintaining lane solo. There's no need to commit. They can really just tag up top. This tier 1 is basically gone.
And it is. It's a slow process, but they are chipping away. They glyph up. Yang does not care. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're now playing on that Lena. You need trouble. It's for the B there, and they do get another kill. Ori will take that one. That's the second time this game so far that DD has died on that Lena. And it is off the back of EY rotating on the Brimstroke. And for SAG, they haven't been able to respond to that because they've been so focused on defending that top lane that by the time they TP down to help him out, he was already dead.
Yeah, it's a lot of missed opportunities for SAG. Looks like they really are just hoping God King gets a lot of early farm and starts really becoming a menace, but you want to play around with DD's spike. Like, he's at level 8. He's got Laguna. He hasn't found a kill. That is a bit of an issue for a risky hero like this.
He has an arcane root. He really wants to commit that Laguna with the arcane root if he can. He's got the arcane boots up now. I guess he's probably going to put into maybe an 8th length or something here, but he's going to need to get a bit more active than this, DD. You wouldn't mind just making a rotation up towards PYW, though Yang now pressuring him out of that neutral camp will take those creep kills. Does also get a trusted shovel for himself now, but Red Panda going to be around the corner. Helix there as well, but they have zero confidence in being able to take this down, and he'll stampede away anyway.
I mean, look, like, Yang is not finding kills for the most part, but he is forcing these heroes to stay around his area, which means your side lanes are just open. It's a bit harder to spread farm between God and DD because they're sharing the same spot with the jungle, and they're just not farming efficiently enough. VG not massively ahead, mind you. It's just a 1k advantage on VG's side, although they catch Yang.
Can they kill him though? No, there's no damage. He's got that cloak up, not magic defense, and now Red Panda gonna get caught out here and is definitely dead.
Not even the metallurgy.
And I'll tell you what, John, VG Gaming have Yang to thank for how this game is going right now. He's doing such a big job on that offensive Centaur.
Oh, he is. It's just so disruptive and so hard for SAG to even commit. I think they just give up in the top lane. They should just focus elsewhere. GL is a very juicy target, and yours has been showing it bot lane still, feeling confident on that hero. That's something they can definitely abuse while he's still squishy.
I believe it's a matter of VG want to take the Dire jungle away, and SAG can't afford to give it away because of the Terror Blade. So I believe that's why they're actually just focusing up at that top lane for now. But Yang's going to start rotating down the mid lane now and start focusing that tier 1 tower now. And again, we just saw that even if you have 3 or 4 heroes, it just doesn't matter. The man does not die, and he's about to have that full Hood Defiance up. So at that point, you just wonder how you take him out in the first place. And for bot lane, they're going to make the chase down to PYW. Felix, you are too fast, sir. Does prime split though. But Aura now joining in with D1. They're going to X onto Red Panda. Nice Cogs pushback though from Red Panda. Will save his life. But this still allows you to keep really farming up on this PL and catching up. And Yang just takes the T1 mid, just by himself.
God, just all these movements being forced out of SAGs, just really leaving the map vulnerable. Now, they are getting their job done, like God King's not being threatened at all, and he is maintaining number 1, number 2 network tied up with Yang. So our Turtleblade is growing big, but everyone else on SAG's side is not. DD's start has just been so slow. OP God as well. Just not managing to find those early spikes, and this is much more worrying for SAG because the Venomancer timings are so sensitive, and you're just not seeing that impact from this hero.
I mean, you were in the first few minutes, but after that, he just hasn't been able to do anything. This has given all the space in the world for Ori to farm up as well as that on that Empire. He's getting close to the Maelstrom now, so he'll have a nice little power spike in terms of damage as well. You look at DD, he's still just trying to focus in and trying to get that 8th lens up. He can actually disassemble his boots right now and get it up, and he will. That kind of spells the story of the game right now for SAG. Like, mid laner does not feel confident to be too close to the side of VG. He'd rather be able to just stand back and spam balls. Let's see if it pays off. Look at Yang, he's just standing in the mid lane now, trying to threaten the T2 tower.
Yeah, and you can't stop this. He is just too tanky even this far. There's nothing there. They tried to come down bot. So looks like they will find the bot tier 1 here for SAG's side. That's objective for them to pick up, but they're just receiving too much pressure across the map in exchange.
Yeah. Well, Yang and the rest are just going to take over that high jungle now, and SAG are going to try and do the same thing down the bot lane. This game feels a little bit different as well to game 1 for SAG. Like, God King's farming great, and we've talked about this many times now, but it's not like the first game where we were playing anti-mage, right? Where you could have crazy influence no matter what skills are up. They're so dependent on that metamorphosis as a Terrorblade that once it's down and on cooldown, all this net worth is essentially just negated for SAG.
Yeah, it definitely is, and are you seeing this river, Mike? It looks disgusting. Like, I'm using TI4 map. It looks literally out of place. Like a bad texture.
It's I don't know what this is to be.
What?
I guess. VG moving in mid lane. Wait for the Peacock, trying to scout out, but there's Esports Remnant forward. So he tried to gate at least, but it won't even get off. But he gets the poison over, and now Felix will come in, but he doesn't have mana for the primal split. So he can't even split and try to catch someone. And now Yang, he's gonna get Red Panda. Dancing up Red Panda, they should have the damage, and they do. Each aiming and running circles around SAG right now. There's just nothing they can do about it.
Yeah. It's really bad as well. I think, like, PYD, all the spells he steals from Venom is great. Even when he just steals the big board. I mean, he farms so much faster, he has free vision around the map, he gets to shove out the lanes, he gets to build a farm, and he has an instant cast on those wards. It's just kind of ridiculous how much better Rubik is with these wards.
That is. Apart from the fact that it doesn't have Poison Sting, which kind of sucks.
Oh, it does. It carries. As far as I remember, yeah.
DY? Oh, you're right, it does. DY's gonna be in trouble now. Oh, he's alright, he'll survive.
How ridiculous is that? You get the slow go, like all the control on the Rubik. It's pretty dumb.
That wasn't a thing back in the day, was it? I don't remember that being a thing. Really?
I think it always was. I mean, I can't recall how far back this was, but in as far as I know, it's like Eclipse.
Oh, DD, they've got the fuse up on Europe. He's just rushing forward, a good shot in, but it only gets illusions, and now the Soulbind is there. They do allow the lean and run out, but you might lose at least the Brewmaster in return. He's going to try and make a run out of there before his time is up. Inkswell out onto Yang. It's going to be a bit early. but they still know where Felix is, and he's definitely dead. In fact, Red Panda is not going to get lucky either. He's been trapped up by Eurus. He's also gone. In fact, what are you still doing there, DD?
Oh no.
I thought maybe he made a run for it by this point. He'll use the Shadow Amulet, but it will mean nothing. PYW, he gets a double kill, and it's straight into the mid lane to defend up against terrible illusions.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's just so difficult for SAG to force these fights out. They can't afford to commit, and they're just out. I mean, on the one hand, they're really losing supports besides DD. You're giving God King all the space, so your terrible is having progression. That's a positive, but it just doesn't feel like enough. Like, I'm trying to spin this, but you're just not having impact in these earlier cores. You're giving a lot of weight for the Terrorblade to carry.
So God King is literally going for 3 or 4 core items before he gets involved at all. Yang, he's been jumped on. This would be a big kill if they can get it, and it looks like they probably can. He will finally fall here up to that top lane. And this could be the turning point. Because now you feel like you might have a chance here. And as SAG, they put in Eurus with the install straight into that Brewmaster. And they kind of rub it in. But no, not quite yet, guys. You need a bit more farm than that. Looks like SAG. I'd still be very happy with the fact that they just got the Sentinel.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That punishment. It's pretty darn good news for SAG, and not quite the turning point yet, but it could be the start to maintain that kind of momentum here.
God King is rushing the butterfly now. Very interesting style of Terrorblade we're seeing here. I can't remember the last time I saw him use meta. He's had it off cooldown for a while, and it's almost like just in case he needs to get involved in that team fight, he always has it. You don't really need to use it to farm anymore because he's still like an absolute truck. But at the same time, you kind of question whether this is the right play where you're just kind of a pacifist and not getting involved, but they need to now. Top lane, Eurus could be in trouble. The Poison Nova came out. They're going to try and protect it. Almost one. With all the Stampeders there, and now they come back in. They found the leader there with that Soulbind. Shouldn't throw the pan, but it's not going to matter. They're going to get 2 straight off the bat, and now DY falling low, but who cares if the Grimstroke dies? He doesn't, but here comes that Terrorblade. He hits very, very hard. He'll go after Ori. That Remnant out. Eurus still going to be in trouble. He's been slowed up. Still trying to make a run for it. God King can't quite catch, but he's being kind enough. Eurus? Don't go AFK on us, sir. This is not the time. God King, they turn around back onto that field. And, Eurus, no. That is not how you kite on PL up against Terrorblade.
He was free. They were walking away from him. He turned back around to try to make a play.
I believe he was kiting out, and the idea was he thought his team would kite back in and turn the team fight completely. But it looks like everyone was paged. Like Yang wasn't interested, and neither was Ori, and so they kind of just maybe just miscommunicated. And unfortunately, Eurus goes down.
Yeah, that's a costly mistake. SAG back that fight. Not many kills, but that's enough to give God King his butterfly. So he got a major timer up on Terrorblade. Surprisingly, waiting for the Basher. Not gonna look a BKB here. He just wants to go all in an offense. But Terrorblade, understanding that he has a lot on his back end. Well, he has farmed a beast. He is way ahead of all the Europe and VG side. This has to compensate for the fact that everyone else's farm is taking backseat. OP is so far behind, DD so far behind. This has to be worthwhile. And so far, it's been working out okay for God King. EG, they need to play around at Metamorphosis usage. When it's down, they know that's time to focus.
Okay. Again, on Grimmer in the top lane. He's coming to help him out. He just rushed for him. And no, anyone's out of this. But he can getting the spot on the top. Say he's to fight again. King. He did that middle down, but they have 20. Shot in on the Yang. They really want that center, but Red Hand get blown up from the spring. Want to keep following up here. They don't want to back off. But it's not available yet. They have done Eurus with that stun. Poison Nova is up from OP God. They're falling very low here to Ori though. Ori going after DD, does claim that killer now. Psalm out of God King. Can he thunder in time? He can. Ori's in trouble with that Poison Nova. He might tick out and he does. God King though, it's him versus the world. And he actually survived this and somehow turn it back. I doubt it, but he's going to try. They pace him down. He has a lot of armor, but no mana left. And he is almost certainly just dead. He's in trouble as well. He's ticking down to that Spirit Vest for all the poison damage. Not really healing up in the fountain either, but he will be able to now. They do the P-God.
Yeah, it's a really TPV fight. I mean, losing Ori very early on looked like a win for SAG, but they could not sustain that prolonged fight. A lot of that is off the back of PYW stealing the Master role, stealing that split, giving themselves the tools for control and stuns. That was enough for VP to get the cleanup, so you have to be extremely careful if you're Felix in allowing that spot zone. If it is, then PYW does an amazing job. Oof.
Panda. Maybe glad he missed that hook. Ori was just there. Wanted to try and take the arcane rune away from the side of PG Gaming, but won't quite get so lucky. And now with Ori holding that arcane as well as that Aghanim scepter, looks like he's ready to just go in. They know where DD is. Remnant forward has so much range, and oh, this Lena. Look at the farm right now, DD. He's fourth last in terms of net worth.
Yeah, they've stacked all their cores on the CG side just to give God King that good game. And that just constrains him so much. There's no metamorphosis, there is no fight, there's no defense. There's nothing to show from SAG because the Terrorblade is not ready. The Terrorblade is all they have now.
Oh, BG Gaming just really putting a clinic on this game. 19 net worth dead now. Bounty's being placed to Eurus. I'm not sure how possible that is right now for SAG, but you never really know. They're a confident kind of team. Well, I suppose on the brighter side for SAG, God King is very close to having that Satanic up. So that might help his cause a little bit. He's going to find a regen rune to bottle there for Ori as well. It's going to feel very nice for him.
Yeah, the one thing right now for VG is that they don't really have a special. They haven't really invested in any for it. I mean, there are a lot of ways to purge it off. But
sorry, John, Aghanim Scepter on PL. What does that even do again?
Wait, what?
Okay, so you put the cooldown minimum distance on Phantom Rush.
Yeah.
He's going straight at it. He's got it.
I took him to going max install and have the yacht shot. That's not what we've seen in a very long time with the Phantom Rush. Most certainly in the Turbine pick, but that does give Eurus a lot of room to run. Like, he has been kited around. That's been a massive issue for the PL. This does fix that up.
Not even that though, with it having no cooldowns, you've essentially just added 44 Agi. Because it does give you that bonus Agi when you Phantom Rush in, but mid lane, they're going to jump in now onto God King, but he does not react. He just keeps hitting that tier 1 tower. He's going to secure.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Inkswell on the PL illusion won't quite get there onto Felix. Bounty being placed in that Brewmaster. We'll have to be careful now. Yang, who has he found? He has got DD again. The Midlina dying straight away, and he's giving the call to get back, but they're going to lose Panda as well. And now it's back to that Roshan pit.
And without the clock, you're not going to be intervening in this one very easily. It's just going to be given away from EG for the game. You're going to be handed to them, and it's going to be really tricky for SAG to fight into this. I mean, that Ags on Eurus just makes it so hard to control. It makes him hit so much harder that your windows here for SAG really are just shrinking.
That it is. more items just coming out on VG. You've got the blink up on PYW as well. 4 stuff coming out on DY. I mean, they're getting past the Lena now. I mean, they have been past the Lena. It's you know, John, we'll question the draft and the drafting stage, and this is kind of why. Till this point, I still don't really know what this draft is meant to do from SAG.
Well, I can tell you what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to win out aggressively early on. It was supposed to make use of the DOT, Honor Venom, the burst damage from Lena, the Metamorphosis push you can pump out with the Terribly for an aggressive game. But that window has faded away. They've got to play the long game now, which is building up the God King. He's trying his best. He's one top. But they're looking through tier 2 bot being chipped away, and that's their last outer tower on SAG's side.
Radiant's top tower.
God, he's not going for that tier 1 tower. He's going for a very particular item in this game, and I can't quite blame him. I have a feeling they're going to need every ounce of damage they can get, as they're now kind of missing their position 2. I would not call this lane a mid laner at this point.
No.
This is at best a position 4.
Top tower is under attack.
It's fallen behind so far. Even the progression on Felix, he was doing so in the first 2 games, but this Brewmaster performance, he's behind Rubik's Farm as well. Like, he's behind his Lena. He's behind
Rubik's hand up. Dies again. Yang, he's the hardest target to go on. God King. The meta for that. Well, that's a real shame. They used meta, they used Primal Split, they used everything. They didn't really hold him down long enough, and even if they did, it's still the Centaur. They're going for the Tornado, but that's just the theme of the Primal Split. And seeing that Ichi Gaming, they might just feel very confident to just keep going with that Aegis and maybe go high ground.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping them now. They know the tools have been used up. It's a very big open for VG. They should be able to find some nice objectives at the back of this.
Take out that dominating crit. Nice easy 200 gold for him. Not that he really needs it right now, but the high ground defense is still going to be quite difficult to go into. They'll swell up that illusion of the PL. These Venom wards are always a pain in the butt to get through, but now if you have your own Venom wards, you slowly tick away at them, I guess. It seems as though they might need to take care of OP God first before they can actually make this high ground play.
Yeah, that is one of the strengths of SAG. While the Venom is up, the Venom wards right now are still fairly annoying to deal with, so that does keep VG off the high ground, but the area to farm in for SAG is still small. You do have the Demon Edge up for God King. He's that much closer to the Divine, and that could be the shot in the arm SAG's looking for, just additional damage to push them over the edge. But it is such a risk to hear like terrible now. I mean, he is not tanky at all with his kind of build.
Smoked up. Ori coming through the back. Let's spot out Felix. No, goes for the ground. Easy caught out. It is the Lena again. And she just melts so darn quick. Now they also find that Venom. So Egon definitely going to die as well. You haven't got a flyback on OP God, but you do have one on DD. They might once again try to go down mid.
Yeah, I mean, you've taken the Venom well. That was the main issue in the high ground push, so you have more leeway to just throw your body up the high ground. You've got the Dasher flying out now as well onto yours, if I recall right, and that just gives him a lot more leeway as well in terms of man fighting if he so needs.
Well, that tier 3 tower not going to last very long. They won't fight back on DD, they're just going to hold out on that. Repair kit, and that's going to protect that tier 3 again. Now, Aegis expires to make matters worse for VG Gaming, so they can't actually confidently make that push up. Looks like they'll just play this cautiously and back off.
Yeah, and that's about the right time for it as well. The Primal Split from Felix is up and running. You've got the Metamorphosis on hand for God King, so this is the time where SAG can actually fight back in. Smart pull back for VG. This does give SAG that time to get the farm for Sacred Relic, and it's fairly close. 1,500 gold away for Divine for God King.
You need, even once he has that, I can't 100% say that that's going to make all the difference. It's just going to give you a hell of a lot of damage to pump out. And it really does feel like a one big situation right now for God King. In fact, Yang, who's he got now? They tried to take the outpost to gain a bit of map control. It's not going to work out. Now Ori, he knows DD's around here somewhere. He winds up, nice, connects the dust. He does get it now with the vision as well. How does he know? Oh my goodness, PYW. That's revolting.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, they just kept VD on the ground. Like, he is not having fun. They are definitely not having fun in SAG's end. It's how shut down these cores are. They've still got that chance. You are seeing the lead of VG really widen though. 15k. I mean, you take a look at Eurus. The Abyssal is going to be up and running fairly soon. So this PL, even with the Divine up, with no defensive items, God King, it's going to be a very easy target to just isolate like that.
Now the river is green all of a sudden, apparently. I didn't even know that you could turn it green.
Yeah, it's slime, apparently. Now, I'm not sure what levels those need.
Probably beyond our salary, John.
Oh no.
You ever think we'll get to the point where like they'll have like pasta sauce or something for the river, like just meatballs through the mid lanes, make everyone hungry while they're trying to beat the other mid laner?
Don't give them any ideas, Mike.
I want that.
Don't give them. I'd kill for it. Honestly, I would probably invest for that. That's just so distracting. It's like, even just blood is distracting enough. Something about the material in that just not rendering properly. Perhaps Valve needs to look at the implementation of their occlusion there. It just looked a bit off. It could.
Some very big words you use in there, John.
Oh, I'm just, trying to make use of that education I have, and well, you look at that. The Defiance up on the God King. Very fitting of his name.
I'm not very educated myself, John, but that Divine generally means that you might have a chance back into this game now. So God, if he can get it done. Third Plus has almost given up, I think at 89%. Although once he got that Divine, it started dipping back the way of SAG. So they've raised their chances 90% for now, as God King will have his smoke broken. Give vision for the team with those Venom wards. Not the initiation they wanted for SAG, so they're going to back off again and go back to the drawing board, maybe try again a bit later.
They smoke up again, but God, he's just farming. Yeah, but God King's just opting to not join them this time around and just farm up.
I believe they might be assuming that there's a counter smoke happening, but it's not. It's just chilling out right now, just biding their time. They're giving more time for Yang. He's trying to finish off that Heart of Tarask now. So he wants to be the big beefy boy, which he already has been pretty much this whole game. Once he has that up, it'll be even harder to get through all that raw HP that he has. Mind you, currently, God King is hitting for approximately, just over 600 damage. Now, as soon that he pops the meta, we're talking above 700, maybe even 800 damage on that Terrorblade. He is going to be going for the safer meta as well, going for the BKB, so he doesn't want to be too aggressive with this build. He's that defensive capability as that Terrorblade, but you'd love to see him finish off with something huge like a Daedalus to really amp up that added damage he's getting for that Divine Rapier.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be the ideal. He's gonna have to stagger his farm, so BKB is really important for him. And once you have that, I think that's when SCG can actually take fights. They're very hesitant now because it's simply not safe. But once you have the BKB on your Terrorblade, it's gonna be fantastic. You do have it on DD, so even your Lina can kind of stand and fight a bit better now. certain things just popping back in for SAG to give them a bit more oomph in these fights. But you have to consider what's coming out on VG as well. Yang has a heart. That
He does.
That Centaur is just so much tankier, and once you hit 25, you're gonna have that Retaliate aura possibly coming out.
Roshan, John. They're going for sneaky Roshan play. Downey being played based on the DD already, but it's a fast Roshan. Do they not know what's happening? I don't believe they do. They must, surely. Now they do skip it out. Remnant forward. It does give him a slight bit of vision. They know he has to find Rapier. KB and does pick up, and now the baseline starts. They go straight on top of PO. Eurus is dead. Now hooked up forward. The two-man comes up from Panda. He's looking to set up for his team. It looks like they might be able to get hit here. Can they get to the HP? No, he gets away. Now it moves up. He trying to do the LSA. It does connect on the crunch. He winds down as well. Neither one really had buyback apart from that grip strip with Yang. He's trying to make a run for it. He's been tornadoed up again by the for the OP card. That heart means nothing. Have that much damage. No on Eurus, no buyback on Yang. There is an Aegis on God King. And things just got a whole lot closer.
Oh yeah, that was by itself 4K swing going with SAG. They've got a lot of momentum behind them now. This is when it gets really scary for VG. They need to play smart with yours. They can't just toss him in anymore. They have to be careful about God King, just how much damage he can really do. I mean, he just melts everything in his way.
Is he actually going to buy that butterfly? Look, he's already got one. Do you really need to go to the Dota 1 style build where you buy multiple butterflies? I thought we were kind of past that. I'm sure he is, and I'm sure he'll go for something else.
The evasion's pretty nice if you don't have the MPP just yet in the PL. That does make it easier if you want to play that way.
That is true. TYW getting the split off on the Rubik now and committing it straight away to try and slow down Don King. The repair kit means nothing to this Terran lead right now. This net worth lead apparently means nothing either. He just keeps going. They'll have yet hang up in 10. They may want to go right now, but hook shot in. They found Eurus again with that hook shot, but it looks like Red Panda. He's just trying to let his team escape here, and well, they're not going to escape that easy. Or he goes in on the P-God. Now surrounding them. OP's dead. There'll be a buyback from Red Panda, but God King could be in trouble as well. He still has the Aegis. They're taking everyone else out. Felix dies, but back immediately as well. Do they keep going?
Under attack.
It looks like they just do not want to go close to the Terrorblade. They'll leave. BKB up from DD. Yang was unable to get there in time to cancel the TPs off. And they will get themselves a Rax. And suddenly, John, they are 1 Rax ahead of VG Game.
Yeah, a really good turnaround from SAG. Look at that win probability. Swung all the way down. Now 59 to 41, still in favor of VG. But you gotta admire how much SAG put into even the dent in that. And VG are gonna have to play a bit safer. Torhorn will help Eurus' cause as want to use it, and they're just gonna have to wait for that MKB on PL, because right now you're not getting the damage out onto God King consistently enough to really take care of that terror wave.
How far is this win probability going to go down to? It's going to sit at 58% for now. So it's basically almost down back to a 50-50. Nice little spell prism being found out. He's going to use it there on the Terrorblade. Now that reduction on the cooldowns of spells and items, 20% reduction, John. I don't think he's going to keep it, but I wouldn't blame him either.
Yeah, it's really strong. That's a 6.4 second stunder.
Oh.
That is pretty busted. It reminds me of the old days. The talent was absolutely broken, so I can see the value in that.
God King has to be careful. There's a smoke here on the side of VG Gaming, but they don't want to deal with him first. They want the backlines. There's not many buybacks left on SAG. If he's not going to be rushed in on by Eurus with the Ink Spot with the Lotus Orb on top, he's still in trouble. Hook shot in from Red Panda. He controls the backlines. Now the Terrorblade, halberted up, disarmed, but he wants to fight. He will go just one shot DY. Now after Eurus, that's the main man that want to kill up, but here comes Horn with the chain, going after TD and OP God, but they can't stand there and fight while there's Terrorblade's around the area. They have to kite him out as best as possible. Ori still trying to play around. Yang jumps in with the hoop spot now. Setting up. OP God. 2 diebacks on the side of SAG. Still dying with that soulbind now. Trying to get the dieback on the Brewmaster. But he will not die. And Yang is almost dying himself. Meanwhile, DD will die to Eurus. It is a 2v5 situation here for SAG. But make it 3v5. DD will fight back. God King is about to die if he's not too careful. He's going to lose the metamorphosis very, very soon. But Laguna is there. They kill off Eurus. He does have buyback though. Ori still going. The meta's gone. Sunder out, protecting DD, not letting him die back. The 4-star's there on Ori, getting him out of there. But now Yang, he could be in trouble. He'll be chased down. Great LSA out from DD. Can they get him out of there? Well, Yang, he has the ink storm, but that's all he has right now. It's just him and PYW. But PYW does commit a nice stun out from the Rubik and also blink out. And they hold. They hold on again.
Oh, it's getting really on the edge here for both teams. SAG just having the Aegis popped at the end after they killed Eurus. If Eurus was alive, that would have been very bad for God King, but they do manage to force a Phantom Lancer just to overextend a bit. So, bit too keen for VG. SAG still holding on. I mean, it's such a strange game, and you can say SAG is doing really well when they're 15k behind, they're 22 kills behind as well, and they're still keeping this game in check. They're just playing really well to make up for that huge deficit they were facing up against.
Missile Blade now up as well. God King, he got his own form of stun now. He is officially 6-slotted. He's kept the Spell Prism as well. He wants those lower cooldowns on all his items.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Are they going to go for a secondary racks already? They are. They've got walls of steel, these guys. They do not care. Eurus will respawn. Popped, and he's going to take that tier 3 tower very, very quick. Remnant in. Yang is going to be there as well. So a lot of damage and a God King. He will survive. Now useless thunder. It gets turned around. But he heals up with the lifesteal. And with his BKB down, I doubt he'll be willing to keep going. They do back off. He's queued up the Moonshot as well on that Terrorblade, John, so he has the gold for it. He just needs to save for buyback. I mean, the thing is, though, if you lose the Divine Rapier, the game might be over anyway. But he's going to play it safe and keep that buyback gold if he can.
Yeah, I don't blame God King. I think there's still a lot of ways to play around after the initial drop. As long as the fight's closer towards their base or the TP point, there are ways to salvage that kind of switch. So, don't really blame him, don't really fault him for playing defensively. Still, do see some opportunities for VG to build up. Like you've got the Lincolns off or just additional defense out for the Ember. They are top. They want to try to find something with a slight opening.
Get anything though. They're gonna run straight into each other. He's still gonna be there on Yang, but he's unwilling to jump. God King farming in a place he considers safe, but it could be very dangerous right now. Does get the Moonshot up. No buyback call for him, but he doesn't care. Again, without that Divine Rapier, I don't think it matters. Even an Alpha Wolf being given the way of God King. So Felix just getting that Alpha Wolf, giving it over to the blade. And God King. Satanic up on Eurus as well. God King just casually sitting at 36 or 37k net worth now. Terrorblade does go for the Aghanim Scepter build next. This is the literal definition of 4 Protect 1. These guys are literally going to throw all their bodies and they're going to get all their items to revolve around this one guy. Roshan's going to be up in 2 minutes.
That's a pretty decent investment. I mean, it is paying off. God King is really starting to get that work. The ads can be nice for that fear. A lot of control for SAG, and you have to know VG, they don't have a BKB on Eurus. They don't have a way of him just kind of stand there and get done once that fear is in play. That's something for VG to watch out for. Eurus has been kind of kited around in very recent fights and doesn't have buyback world, so if he does get caught out here, that might be it for VG.
Very scary situation here. Both teams just farming to their heart's content. They are going to go on kick. They're going to leave this one. This could be blood. Remnant border down. The Rapier's on the deck. They all jump. But this game could be over. Felix, he can't get the Rapier for the team. Who has it? It is the PL. Eurus did pick it up. And Felix, he will also die. Just one mate. And suddenly, Blade is a non-factor. GG.
Yeah, that's it. And there's no way. There's just no way to hold anymore. And one misstep, and we saw that in game 2. You can't afford to give any single mistake that's small. VG, they will punish hard, and SAG, they held on for a remarkably long time. They made some amazing plays with that